Also, just as a reminder, your scores from last night do carry over to today. Those totals are on your scorecards. Just double check those, make sure. But we'll be continuing from that 6-game set to make a total of 12 games, which will determine your top 8.
And a wonderful good morning to all of you here. It's payday. It's not the 1st, nor is it the 15th, but it is payday inside of Executive Strike and Spare in Louisville, Kentucky, because the top 40 bowlers now on the lanes have earned a check from this wonderful event. Only question now is how large will their checks be? Someone is going to win $12,500 later today, and 8 people will have an opportunity to do that. And to determine that, 6 additional games this morning will take us to the finals. Again, good morning. My name is Emil Williams Jr. here with Bullstream TV. Cashers round officially underway. And we've got some of the best at this point in the tournament. We're on 35 through 38. Combination of Steve Barron, Sam DeWitt, Chad Roberts. Yeah, Kevin McCune. See Jacob Butcher there on the right of your screen. Jerry Mars. All right, you guys can hear me, right? Let me know if you can hear me. All right. It was a little funky there for a minute. So I don't even know what you heard. I just went through this whole cool thing that I did. All right, so you didn't miss much. I simply was just reiterating where we are in the tournament, what's at stake. Top 8 on the floor. Or the top 40 on the floor, but the top 8 is the number of players who are going to advance after 6 additional games here. 8th coming into this morning was +7. +7 was 8th. The leader coming into today was Eric Jones. Eric Jones came in at +118. 212, 245, 269, 180, 172, 240. That was the line for Eric Jones yesterday. Anthony Nyer was second at +110. Brandon Bone was third at +69. Benji Martinez was fourth at +55. Shota Kawazoe was fifth at +51. Gene Perez was sixth at +27. Josh Imhoff was seventh at +9. And Nathan LeChute plus 7 was 8th. 40th last night. Was a minus 77. Minus 77 got you in the top 40 and advanced you to the cashers round here this morning. That was Isaac Rose, who ended up throwing the first strike in the 10th frame. He went strike 9 out for 213, I believe it was. Andrew Hall won't get that messenger. But it was Isaac Rose, Cam Crow. I think I just saw that question. Oh, he was at. The question was not, did Cam advance? Did he get here? Yes, he did. Little different scenario for Cam though. Last year he was. I can't remember if he was. I think he was in the top 8, and essentially had to give up about 4 frames, if my memory serves correct, because his alarms, or he slept right through them. But if a run could be made, it's certainly possible. He did not start well on the fresh yesterday. So we'll see what happens here today. For those who possibly can make a run, the good news is the field right now, from realistically, you can even start at 5th and 6th, so to speak, and roll on down. The jump is, not severe. A lot of players bunched up. If you are joining us for the first time, or get an opportunity to check in and see what the Bradley is all about, it is a relatively lower scoring event. That's a very good break there for Andrew Hall. A lot of volume, meaning lots of oil in the lanes, very lengthy. And someone like a Jacob Butcher, who I was talking about last night with Tony Preston when we got off the air, could be someone who can make a run, because he comes in 25th. Butcher in 25th, and if he happens to have a little bit of a look, which a lot of the lefties here that have had a decent solid look, or decent to solid, and some of them have been very good, could possibly make a run today. I was thinking about someone like Kevin McCune. Daniel Farish comes in as the first player outside of the top 8, and he was the last player to be plus after the first 6 games last night of the advancers round. Again, this is the cashers round. The pins do carry over, of course. Tony Preston said that Chad Roberts would be his selection to make a run, from someone who would be in the 20s. That's not a bad pick, especially if he can throw it there every pair. That's the real question. A lot will depend on how everyone decided to break down their respective pairs to start game 1. Because as the bowlers then begin to travel, they won't have the same look 100%. They're just hoping for something that's remotely similar. Nice crowd on hand here this morning, and it's a good day for bowling. The Pete Weber Missouri Classic TV show set to air, I believe it is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. Pete's, what I understood, is going to be handing out the trophy. That's good. One more national TV appearance for one of the greatest to ever do it. A lot of PBA peers are still in contention here. Eric Jones, Anthony Nyer, for example, Shota Kawazoe, Benji Martinez, Nathan Dubois, Zeke Bate, Trevor Roberts, Williams Vincent, Pontus Anderson, Brian Robinson, Kevin McCune, Jacob Buttriff, Jerry Mars, both a little bit out there still. Andrew Hall out there chasing it. Another great stepladder indeed, David. And hello to David and Scooby and Hap Show. Bo. B squared in the building. Chase Hayes. All right, Sam DeWitt trying to put in some work here. He comes in at 21st. This is actually a nice group to kind of take a look at to start, because if a big game is shot by either of these players, then it kind of puts them on an immediate watch, if you will. They're on the watch alert for the rest of the day. So tons of surface still, but I don't think players got too wild. But I think a lot of the surface used today was to help break down a spot. To help the lanes, especially on the right side, get a little bit more favorable as the day goes on. Eddie Cruz, we appreciate you this morning. Andrew Hall at a lost, well, it wasn't lost. He's trying to put his interchangeable thumb into the ball, and it just popped out of his hand. It said doop, doop, doop from lane 37 in the set tee to 35. Couldn't get out of that one that time. Andrew Hall, meaning the 2A10. He probably missed right, maybe a board or so. And where another pattern, certainly that's going to hook from there. It kind of labors and leaves you in that 2-8 zone. We got a front seven over on 33 and 34 to start. That's your picture-in-picture right now, but we'll focus in on that here in just a second. Sam DeWitt's ball just caught immediately, man. And that once you get through game one, and it happens every weekend, or every year. Notice it again this weekend where you get a ball out on the lane in a spot where there's been some chalk, and that ball starts to hook instantly. believe that was Keith Schooler that had the front 7, just left the 10 pin. Very decent starts. Boy, that's tough. You watch what Chad Roberts is doing, and I feel like he can manipulate ball motion with his hand very good. I think he and the rest of the group on 35 and 36 trying to set up something nicely that he can throw it to. He's been getting it there, but fast 8. Frame before, let the 4 pin. Our first deadwood clear. Uh-oh. Oh, how about it? Michael, I think one reason is just it's Jacob Buttrick, but I do think another reason is because there are a lot of lefties that has been successful this weekend, and they've just been able to, for the most part, I think, go left to right and be closer to the gutter longer. Where on the right side, you just have a few players that have been, you know, playing them multiple ways, playing them out, maybe some at like 2 or 3, maybe like Andrew. You know, Jerry's kind of closer to 14, 15. We've had players from the right be around 8, 9, 10 too. So it's, you get a little bit of everything on the right side. The majority of lefties are in the same area. And on this pair particularly, it's just he and Tony Lambert, and so they can kind of bounce off one another. I was very interested, though, because we do have a nice amount of lefties. I think I counted 8 or 9 in the top 40. Could be a situation where a couple lefties will be crossing together, and I'd be interested to see how some work together, so to speak, or if they end up kind of messing up each other's traffic. But that's the player for me, Jacob Buttrick. In 25th place coming into today with, again, a good look from the left for the most part. And that's a general statement across the lefties that have been successful here. It's a lot to ask at the Bradley, but you can get a 5-bagger a game, and we know Buttrick is capable of that. He doesn't have that far to climb. In fact, he might make it up right now. He's in the 240s. Jacob Buttrick was 40 under. Or excuse me. He was, well, he's 40 under par, but he was 49 back of 8th. He just shot 248 in game 1. And now I mean, he's right there. But every other player in his group, in that mix, has the same opportunities just because of how close things are. '84 pins separates 8th from 40th coming into today. Tony Lambert make double in the 10th there. We get him to the 180s. Jerry Mars, our guy. Himself another nice showing here at the Bradley. And he's got plenty of room to operate as well. He was a 1 pin back of Jacob coming into today. So less than 50 to get to the top 8 again after 1. As the top players kind of make their way, and I mean top players who started the day in the top 8. It is divergent skip. So we'll see them migrate. We are using lanes, I think 25 through 44 here this morning. That's a nice start as a group over there on 37 and 38. '84, Todd, from 8th to 40th. 84 pins. Specifically, though, Jacob Buttroff came into today 47 pins back of 8th. So Buttroff was 25th. So 47 pins from 8th to 25th. And then it was 84 pins from 8th to 40th. Yeah, I mean, it's close, right? And in a 6-game block. We all saw, well, I shouldn't say we all saw. I hope you saw what Jacob Buttroff was doing. I would say the last 2 weeks. I would even go back to the Mount Prospect event, where he made a nice subtle run. And if he could have got a few more hits at Mount Prospect, he may have run down the top 24 number, but he did end up getting a check. And then, of course, he just missed the show this week in Springfield. So that's a young man, I think, with some confidence. And we all know what his striking abilities are on the lanes. There's a couple stories that could be written here today. Keith Schooler, unfortunately, back-to-back opens there to finish with 233 after a very good start to the game. Keith was in 19th. He was 39 pins back of 8th. But he, too, even with the 33, obviously left some pins out there. But he's going to move up some spots to start out with. Got to give it up to my man Victor Flores Jr. there, who just struck on the right side of your screen. He made the drive from Richmond, Virginia through some weather. Had to stop and wait for some things to clear up on his way. But he did not waste his opportunity. Making some things happen on the lanes. Sam Wooten doing the same thing, although he is local. So some solid scores in game one, just to kind of give you some context. As you watch Williams Vincent, that group with Philip Watson, Pontus Anderson, and Tyler Slawball will close it out on 31 and 32 for game one. To give you a little bit of context, here are the games on the fresh during yesterday's advancers round. Where's my pencil? Let's go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There were 15 200 games from the players in the top 40 who advanced here. 15 200 games on the fresh in game one. When we get the scores for game one of the cashers round here after this is complete, I'm going to recount how many 200 games we had on the fresh here this morning. We certainly could have more. There were 6 right in front of us. No, 5, excuse me. 5 on 35 through 38. And the good portion of the 200 games on the fresh in game one last night were from the players who finished in the top 7. By my count, John McCarthy, good morning to you. I believe I counted 8 lefties in the top 40. Eight lefties in the top 40, with a small percentage of maybe 1 to 2 players whose names wasn't familiar with, so I want to make sure I see them up close and in person. A little bit of chill in the building this morning as we are now officially complete with game one. More 200 games right there. That's another 3. Sounds great, John. Love to see you. Looks like 35 through 38 is going to be first. Jalen Mosley might be kind of playing the fallback a little bit. Let's see as he gets closer to this area. Christian, yeah, I just saw your question. I would think so, yeah. And Mexico Open is pretty hard. I mean, morning, how are you? Steve Mackey doesn't make him easy there either. But I think the Bradley is a little bit hard. I think the volume is just a little bit more. Oh. Vincent had that head pin go right around the 10, trying to take care of the 1-2-8-10 early. I did get some rest, Chris. How are you this morning? Jeez, and a wiggle on the 3 from Pontus. Trying to take care of a 3-10. Some tough sledding here so far on 37 and 38. Zeke Bate, that might be a little left. That's the other thing. The inability for players to break down splits might be like second on the list aside from the obvious, which is the length and volume of the pattern. It's been difficult to break down splits. So when you do miss, it's been tough. I mean, this guy's got the 3, 6, 7, 9, 10. For Zeke Bate. I think he's going to make it. I'm 0 for 1 today. I will say that executive hasn't been kind there. It's like you go to a gym and you got some unfriendly rims you're shooting on. Rims in and out, spins out. Can't buy a bucket. That's the equivalent of not breaking down splits here in this tournament. I'm going to tell you right now, though, folks, Anthony Nyer is going to be tough to beat. If he remains in the top 8 and you've got to beat him twice, that's going to be very hard to do. Because he has had his gym working. And I'm referring to, of course, his bowling equipment, but that's been the ball of choice for him. He's been able to be himself, be powerful, and just keep it right on a rope. Oh. Per the last couple of squads, once I receive, I'm assuming that I will get the scores. And once that happens, I will then post again on the Fullstream TV Facebook page. It looks like that's been helpful. So we'll keep that same pattern going today. Did see Tony Preston. Good morning, Tony. Thank you for stopping on by last night in Game 6. Daniel Farish, one of the local players. You know, without knowing everyone's hometown, so I can't say who is local. Tony Preston would know that for sure. But Daniel, Tony Lambert, like for sure I know that they are local. And I think Jeremy King, I believe, also is local. How you doing?
Just trying to hit the head pin a bunch.
It was Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson's a fun guy. I don't know if you heard him, but he said just trying to hit the head pin a bunch. I mean, it sounds so simple. I mean, Lauren Hill said it, folks. She said it could all be so simple, but we'd rather make it hard. That's what the Bradley Open has done to these players. It's a sweet serenade of not hitting the head pin. Unless you're Anthony Nye. One of those. Whichever one. All right, so that's the one. Perfect. All right, folks, I'm going to have a little bit of a guest here this morning. He's been watching so far here through one. I know he's got a lot of friends bowling, and I'm going to talk to him about a lot of stuff. Actually, I appreciate him being here. Last time I talked to him on the air, he had just won $10,000 on this very network. And this is Matt Zweig.
Hello, hello.
Good morning, Matt.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing, all things considered?
Better than last night.
Okay.
Got a good night's sleep, and it's all good now.
You okay?
Things
okay,
happen.
you had to sleep it off.
Did have to sleep it off.
Hey, listen, I get it. How? Let me just ask how many times have you bowled this tournament before?
This is my third time.
Third time. Okay, so you know the frustrations that come with the bowling this tournament. Were they any different this year than previous for you?
Yeah, I thought they were very different.
Okay.
I think they took a lot of oil out of the front this year, and so it made it really hard for the right to play out, and that's kind of how I had some success in this tournament the last 2 years. I played out, and that I think they're trying to do it today. They're all forcing themselves to do it, but it was not there. Play out.
Okay.
But that really, I didn't think that was there last night.
Thank you for that, John. So Jeremy King, Austin Kohler. Oh, I forgot about Jeremy Thomas. He'll be upset. Who could forget Jeremy Thomas? Thomas tournaments and Tyler Slaubaugh is pretty much local. Got it. Okay. Well, that's a nice contingent.
That better?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, last time I had this on, I had the mic like next to my mouth, so
Perfect. That's
couldn't
where we want
get
it.
it bound. There we go.
So trying to play out, and obviously it's been difficult for righties, and obviously I feel like the lefties just came in knowing that's what they're going to do for the most part.
Yeah.
And they've been able to execute it well for the most part. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. The lefties that are doing it are very good at what they do, as you can tell over there and over there with Jacob front 7.
Yeah, I'm thinking, folks, Tony Preston, if you're listening to me,
Front 8.
I told you. So Tony and I, as we finished up Game 6, and we get the final standings, we're going through it, and I go, Jacob Butcher's in 25th. He's only
Not for long.
just under 50 pins back. If his look is anything like the rest of the looks that most lefties have had, especially some very good ones, we know that he can strike. If he can execute in the morning, it could be a run to
I mean, he's on a 16-bagger right now, so he already made up all that wood.
So it's Jacob Butcher day, folks. He's on the watch.
Yeah, it's the Jakey show.
That is on what lane is that?
43.
Okay, well that'll be just outside of. But I think he's going to finish on the left lane.
Yes.
So we can get to 42 and then see his shots on the right side of that, on that angle.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I just think they were a little tougher on the right this year. In qualifying, it really showed that the lefties just kind of survived. I talked to the tournament director without revealing too many of their secrets. They like changing it up a little bit year to year, I guess. And the first 2 years I bowled this, they played pretty similar.
Okay.
And this year, I think they significantly lowered the volume in the front. So we all showed up all these chalk bowling balls, and they all got one off the left.
That is correct. I saw that multiple times. The funniest one wasn't funny at the time, but it was funny.
It's funny when it's not you.
Watching Benjamin Martinez and Jacob hopefully got the 7 out. He did. Just the 10 pin in the 9th frame. Max score 279 now for Buttriff. And that stops, what is a 16 bagger we said, right? That what you just said?
Hit back 8, front 8.
Yeah, back 8 for 248. Front 8. Shake that off this morning. He went Benji. Took 7 pin off the left. I think it was his first or second shot of practice, a B squad. He was, so he's all bowling on the burn. And then he did it on the left lane. And then he did the same thing on the right lane. Back-to-back shots.
Found the hook.
And he had this look as if it was me, I'd have the same look like, hold on, what's
yeah,
the
exactly.
deal? And but he ends up ball changing obviously during practice. He bowls very well both that squad and last night to come into today 4th.
Yeah. I mean, high righty, bowled pretty good. Just kind of grinded, it looks like 166, and that's it. Showed it with a professional block yesterday, too. Low game 190, 50 over.
Well, someone who was able to break down a split, which hasn't been very popular so far here through about a game and a half.
Yeah, it's weird. I was talking to Anthony about this on the way back yesterday. You don't really split that much here. You just don't strike. Like, we don't really have enough entry angle to leave, like, those big design splits. Although B-Rob found a way to get 4 through the middle. Not sure how he did that. But beyond that, you really don't see too many red circles.
Well, not this morning. There's been a couple.
Yeah.
There were a few yesterday, and just, you're just hoping that splits get broken down.
Right. Although on the house shot, I found a way to have 3 red circles in a row to start a game. I'm bowling on the pattern.
Was you bowling were you just practicing, or was it
That
like
was
singles?
the singles.
Okay.
Yeah. At 30 in the third second game, I'm like, all right, there go the brackets. And I guess this is the pattern.
Turner Nation, I believe so, but do not quote me. I would tell you to go and check the Bradley Open. There's like a Bradley Open event Facebook page and a tournament page, but the rules and such are there. But if Smart is involved, if the tournament, of course, will have a Smart account and place funds for youth bowlers into that account, then generally they would be eligible. John McCarthy says that for anyone who doesn't make it today, there's a double sweeper in Danville, about 45 minutes away. Spread the word. So I'm spreading the word to Matt Zweig. I don't know if he'll be able to go.
No chance. We're going right to
Because
Indiana
I was
after
going to say,
this.
that's you probably have to get to Anderson.
Yep. Yeah, the second Nair and Jacob are done, we are out of here. But, of course, they're
Well, you
both
know you might be
making the run.
waiting for a little bit, just FYI.
A little bit. I think at least we're safe in at least one of them making the top 8, if not both.
How has, I assume obviously you guys are rooming together this weekend. You guys room together during the season too? Like how's that part going for you?
It's cool. Last year it was a pretty similar crew. This year we kind of cut it down a bit. A couple guys are staying with other people, but right now it's me, Jacob, and Anthony Nair.
Okay.
This week we had Tim Foy with us because he bowled, but he's not bowling all the stops, so it's just us 3 for the next stop. I think at the Masters we're going to have a pretty big crew. So that's someone who I think could bowl pretty well on this.
Pontus?
Pontus, yeah. He gets it in the lane real early, and he can actually make it shape from there.
Let's say you didn't have a good vantage point, or you weren't that comfortable. Now, this is generally speaking because most players at this level of bowling tournament, you probably feel pretty comfortable playing the gutter. But let's say it wasn't your A game, and you wanted to play somewhere else. Where would that place have been for a righty? Because we've seen the fallback. We've seen people be around like 7, 8, maybe hugging the track at 15. What would you do in that, or suggest for someone like that?
I would look for the most consistent pair-to-pair, which I think would be fallback.
Okay.
And you kind of just sacrificing the fact that you're probably not going to shoot above 220, but you're not going to shoot below 170. Assuming you make your spares and you know, all that nonsense. Well, is that an update?
First one of the day.
Yeah, buddy.
Anthony Nair back in the lead after shooting 203. He is now plus 113. Eric Jones is plus 86. Brandon Bone is third at plus 85. Shota fourth at plus 65. Benji Martinez is fifth at plus 45. Zeke Bate is sixth at plus 29. Gene Perez is seventh at plus 25. Daniel Farish has moved from ninth to eighth. He's inside the number now at plus 21. Sam DeWitt, after a very nice game, he's plus 11. He shot 247, and Buttriff has gone from 25th to 10th. And now he's going to go from
shot 279.
And now he's going to go from 10th.
I might get him to second.
To possibly, possibly second for Jacob Buttriff.
Depends what Eric shoots.
I will take a photo and post for all of you. Matt Zweig is in the booth.
Shout out my boy Gabe. I see you in the chat there. Just kind of scanning around these few pairs that we're in front of here.
What do you see?
A few more strikes than I expected. I think they decided to play him a little more correct today.
You know, we were talking about that last night, and it just seemed like, again, as the field condenses and the cream continues to kind of rise, but you get a lot of players who are smart and talk to one another. And, you know, it's as good as the lefties have been, obviously they still don't have the majority, and so the righties got to take a look at it and say, okay, how can we make it better, I think, for as best as we can for the full 6 games, as opposed to, you know, maybe 1 or 2 games here or there.
Yeah, they gotta work together a little bit more, because yesterday they didn't. And if they don't work together, we're gonna have 7 lefties in the top 8, and it's not gonna be fun for the righties. It'll be fun to watch. But I mean, I expect Benji to hold on. Shota's bowling well.
Let me ask you a question. Now, how long have you known Jacob Butcher?
Oh, a while now. Might have been like 2011.
Okay. Was he like still around Arizona State helping out, bowling?
No, he was a Vegas guy at that
Okay,
time.
okay. Makes sense, right?
We bowled JBTs. And funny enough, Jacob was the first person when I moved to Arizona in 2014. I went there for a visit before I actually moved, and Jacob reached out. I didn't reach out. He reached out and he's like, "Hey man, let's go to the mall. Let's go hang out. Let me show you a couple spots around here."
Man, the mall.
Yeah, the mall. You know what I mean? 17-year-old kids at the mall. But that was pretty special. Even though Arizona's not too far from California, it was a whole new environment. And it's kind of integral in making me feel comfortable moving there. It was nice.
So where you originally from?
Southern California.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, Robert Smith used to drill my equipment.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a little disappointed at both you and Leia now for never telling me this information. I mean, shout out to Arizona and Phoenix. I know you guys love it there. But
love it right around this time of the year.
Oh, you got that right. So, of course, the striking went down on 43 and 44, so that group is done.
Yeah, they got done quick.
And
Nice game, Jakey.
Jacob's got to wait a little bit, but we've got some situations here on 37 and 38, and then over on 31 and 32. It looks like Brandon Bone. Boy, Brandon's got the, speaking of splits, now we're seeing a few red circles. Oh, Phil Watson. Carry that 5-7.
I didn't really see that many solid fives. They kind of always tipped out of there. Maybe not always, but.
All right, Daniel Ferris doing what he does, keeping it clean right now until he can start to catch a double. Let's go down to full screen at 31 through 34 real quick. There is Nathan. Someone just asked about him in the chat. Nathan is, after game one, he dropped to 16th. He is now 16th. A bit of ground to make up, but nothing strenuous. And of course, it is still early. So here's Anthony Nyer. He got off to a really good start, and then some split trouble. Wow, and another one. Good Lord.
Unlucky
That's tough
on this.
That is very unlucky there.
I think he gives us a run. As we talk about no 5 pins, you got the Ocho Diaz on 29.
We'll see if Nyer can convert here. But if you look at this group, a lot of good starts.
Mouse.
And then some red circles that appear.
Still take 190.
Yeah, when I was talking about him, he was in his bag, the front four. Let's go through and just see how this ball kind of knifes through the 1-2 here.
It's fun. Oh, you got the review here. Carve. Yep. It's funny, on the way up here, Anthony's like, yeah, I never bowled this before. You know, I don't know what to expect. I'm like, expect to do very well. And if you looked at the bracket sheet the last 2 days, he did do very well.
Okay.
Yeah. He made a few dollars.
There's Brandon Bone.
Shot.
You see Brandon talking about splits. I mean, 7-2, then split. Comes off a 5-bagger, or 6-bagger, excuse me. That's 5, and then split in the 8th.
That is a frustrating thing, too, when you're bowling this. You find a 5-bagger, and you look up, and you worked so hard, and you're +3. One thing I did find interesting, though, compared to last year, there was a lot more national guys, like top 75 guys.
Yep.
And this year, it's a lot of PTQ guys. I'm not sure why the national guys didn't quite make it over here, but we're okay with that.
Well, I know, and I don't know when you guys were able to make your trip here, but I know the weather impacted some people. Talking to Jason on Friday night as well, so that depending on where it was. Oh, I know Missouri got actually hit with some significant snow. I don't know about Springfield, but St. Louis definitely got hit with a little bit of snow.
Yeah, there's a lot of ice on the roads, I guess, or something like that. I mean, we made the trip. When did we leave? We left after the last day of qualifying, I believe. And then Jake came up here with Tim Cagle. Like, he got 6th, and hopped in the car to get over here. Oh.
See, Josh Imhoff. Talking about talented collegiate players. I'm not sure if Josh is still competing collegiately at this point. Based on his the logo on his jersey, which says PBA on it, that could be a no. But he was a first-team All-American at Oklahoma Christian. I think he was that program's first recruit or signing when the program was created.
Class of 2022. Yep, he's out of there.
So that actually raises my lefty number to 9 because I did not know that Josh Imhoff was left-handed. So it's 9 out of 40 by my count, with still 1 or 2 names that I'm unfamiliar with.
Might be able to help you out.
Yeah, give me a double check there. I've got 9 now with Josh.
Tim Cagle.
Oh, that's right. That's right. From the left side.
From any side.
That's also true.
Or if you're shooting a 7-pin from the right side.
Tim is all of the above.
Isaac Rose is a lefty.
Isaac Rose.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I watched him strike to knock me out yesterday.
I was gonna say, yeah. I guess we were watching his game, but it didn't click for me. All right,
Two-handed
so
lefty or something.
we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 11 lefties.
Now, I got a good prop for you and for the viewers. We set this line at the beginning of the day. There's over-under on 4.5 lefties in the top 8.
Oh. Well.
Right now, the over's looking good.
It is real good. I'm gonna 1, 2, 3.
See what the viewers think.
Yeah, that's interesting. Over under, you said 4.5.
4.5 lefties. And that was when Jacob was in 25th. And it was still like even money to make it. You got an over.
Nice shot there from Pontus off camera. The bottom right of your screen there, Pontus. Open in the 9th.
34 max. I like it.
Trevor Roberts with a nice double.
He's a sleeper pick, man.
He was solid yesterday. Really solid yesterday. Scores are posted, by the way, on the Bullstream TV Facebook page. It is the print is small, so you will want to click and enlarge your screen, FYI. I actually need to wear my glasses.
T-Rob put on Facebook yesterday, he said, I forgot I could move left. I'm like, brother, you're on 55 feet of oil.
Benji, 192. Mr. Perez, who made his way into the top 8 after the first game this morning. Big double. Nair will get to 187 on the undercut.
Y'all bowled sectionals in Tempe.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
When was it there?
My man Chris Pickett. 2004.
You bowled at Tempe Village?
I don't remember the name of the bowling center.
Was it right off the freeway?
No, I.
Oh, okay.
This is 20 years ago.
That's fair.
Jesus.
all
Now
the
that I say
Tempe
that out
centers
loud.
are a bit tough.
Now that I say that out loud. That was 20 years ago.
Wow.
But what I remember most about that trip is we were in a minivan,
Okay.
right? So college bowling team minivan.
Of course.
And there seemed to be like this downtown strip-like feel to it in Tempe.
Yeah, that's Mill Ave.
Okay. All I remember is we were cruising literally down the street with the van door open, the sliding door open, like we were just, hot shots. Like this was Vegas. Like we're in Vegas, and we're in a Bentley. That's basically how we treated
Yep.
the minivan and Tempe that year. It was a fun time.
That's epic. Yeah, you got all the bars down that row, and it's pretty lit when there's some weekends over there. It's been fun.
That's a nice bounce back game, and Daniel did exactly what we talked about. He just kind of waited till he caught a double. He caught a 3-bagger, and then gets to 213, and that might still keep him in the top 8. We know that Buttriff is going to be in the top 8. Question is, will anyone fall out? So it could be Daniel for a game.
Oh, boy. Matt Van Pelt.
Oh, hey, man. Bo is 20 years, bro. I tell people that story all the time. That was a fun trip.
Hi, Mom. I see you.
That was a very, very fun trip. Zeke Bate.
The big shot here.
Push. Oh, and Zeke is currently 6th.
Cagle is trolling me right now for the people in the chat. They can't see that.
That's great.
If I'm ever in the booth, he calls me Matt Van Pelt.
I mean, I can see where he could get that from.
It's like the least bald I normally am, too. Who started on 39? Do we have where they started?
No.
Okay.
No.
I guess we can kind of figure that out based off.
But if you look at if you start with yesterday's or the end of the advanced round standings, the final standings from last night.
Cagle's pair that those guys are on now.
Yeah, because I think so. Andrew Hall, Tony Lambert, Jerry Marsh, and
Andrew's
Jacob
with
Buttriff.
Jacob.
They started on 37 and 38. So that means
okay.
this next group would have been 39.
Only one
40.
lefty hit it, and then, yeah, that should be a good pair for the left. And you can tell within 1 or 2 shots if those guys are going to have a good game or not. If it shapes off the gutter, and they need to see it like 2-3 at like 15 feet, if it starts shaping there, they have total control of the lane. Zeke with 230. How does that get him to? I'm going to reach right here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I get Zeke to 60 over. It's him right next to Shota.
I know Zeke, as we get into this game 3 officially here, I'm curious just to kind of get your firsthand accounts, because I know what you guys go through on a week-to-week basis on tour is a grind.
Yes.
Physically and probably more mentally, as you're trying to achieve these dreams So, but it looks like just based on what I've watched here, and as you mentioned, so many PTQ guys coming over to bowl this, it looks like you guys have a nice bond just as a group. Like, I'd have to imagine because you all feel certainly you're in this together in some way.
Kind of brothers in arms a bit.
Right.
A little bit. We all want the best for each other. We all want to be number one, but we all want everyone to succeed because we know how tough it is. You sacrifice a lot to be out here bowling the PTQs. Even the national tour when you're exempt, I mean, you're still sacrificing a lot. You're not home. So we respect the grind, and there's kind of that mutual respect amongst everyone. For the most part. There's a couple controversial figures, but we all like each other.
Well, sure.
The PTQ players chat is a fun one.
Is this a like a text thread?
It's a Facebook group.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's some shenanigans in there.
That's definitely a private group, right?
Oh, yeah. Confidential, but it's, oh, man.
One could only
Always
imagine.
drama. Shout out Jason Miller, my doubles partner at the doubles as well, right in
Yeah,
front
you
of
guys
us
made
here.
a nice run.
Yeah, I
Made a
just
nice
met the
run.
guy.
How about that?
I just met him. He comes up to me. He's like, hey, you want to bowl doubles? I'm like, yeah, I didn't. It's funny enough. It's ironic how this whole
sure.
thing worked out. The whole ride up here, I'm like, I don't want to bowl the doubles. I don't want to bowl the doubles. Especially because I heard Cam and Brandon were bowling. Like, bro, I don't want to bowl the doubles. And then I wasn't going to bowl. And I went 2-teen in the singles. Like, I got nothing, man. I'm mopped. And he comes up. He's like, you want to bowl? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, look, let's bowl. Whatever. I'll take care of it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's bowl. Get up there. He shoots 750 after I watched him not strike the entire last game of singles. Shoot 750. I shoot 690, which felt like 850. Make the cut, and we bowl Brandon and Cam. So the great irony of it all coming full circle.
See, in this group for the first time here, Jeremy Thomas, Jason Miller, Brandon Coombs, who finished second in the Fairchild singles shootout, which was Friday afternoon. That was sponsored by Motiv and H5G. And Jonathan Cummins.
Nice spare.
How about that?
3910 is a big four in this.
There is Isaac Rose, who shot 213 on 37 and 38 to advance to today in Game 6 last night.
He struck 7 through 10 to do it.
Austin Kohler. I feel like Austin has made this cut a couple times now. Cam Crow going to be on 37 and 38 as well.
Man, that guy is impressive. I've never really seen him bowl too much in person, but I know he's a crusher
Sure.
locally like that. Man, his ball hits hard.
Yeah, I was thinking he bowled on the B squad, so he bowled on the burn to start, and he just had a look that looked like if it could be replicated, he was going to be tough to beat. And then I don't know what happened to him on the fresh.
So I crossed with him yesterday. I thought he was actually playing too far left because when it was me, we had the craziest cross yesterday. Me, Cam, Brandon, B-Rob, and Rick McCormick. How did that happen out of 100 guys?
Nice cross, right?
Yeah, wild. And I thought Brandon was up like 4-5, and Cam was trying to get like 1-2. And I just thought that was too far away from the head pin. Yeah, he did exactly that yesterday.
Did he get a messenger like that?
Yesterday, no, but today's a new day.
Oh, that's got to get over there, Jason. Dan Higgins over, let's see, on 33 and 34, Tim Cagle, second. Mentioned Austin Kohler on that group.
There been any commentary in the chat about how Cagle throws it?
You know, surprisingly, no.
Okay.
And I just took that to believe that most people have seen Tim Cagle bowl before, so it's no longer like a shock and awe moment.
The chest pass, I love it.
Or they just didn't really pay attention to it.
Could be it
but I
too.
find that hard to believe, too.
Which
Jacob
is weird. I
Butcher.
never really.
Go ahead. No, you good.
Watching Cagle, he shoots some spares back up, but it's weird. He throws it like a normal two-hander, like with a low release point and everything for the backup. I've watched him bowl for a while. I've never really noticed that till yesterday. So I wonder if he could do that low release two-hander thing left side like that.
Now, I know you dabble in the coaching business.
I do.
Do you, like when you watch someone bowl, like the thing you just talked about with Tim, how you just kind of, you saw that like, oh, okay, well, I wonder can he do that? Are you looking at it, is it the coach's eyes that kind of get it to you, or just you as a bowling savant, if you will?
A bit of both.
Okay.
That's a really good question. A bit of both. I don't know. That's tough, man.
It could be both.
Yeah.
Or one or the other. It's probably both.
Yeah, because I want to learn while I'm watching. At this point, I'm trying to do that after these PTQs. Got to learn somehow through osmosis, you know.
Right.
But on the other hand, if I'm gonna go, if I practice them at some point, I might ask him, hey, Cagle, can you throw it like a two-hander that way? I don't want him to change his game. He's his own bowler. And obviously he's out there and I'm not, so what do I know? But, yeah.
Well, the Tim Cagles and the Matt Jones, and the Matt Jones I'm speaking of is not the Matt Jones.
Not AZ Matt Jones,
Right.
Cali Matt Jones.
Cali Matt Jones.
They had to clarify in JBTs back in the day. They put CA or AZ next to their names.
You know, they have unique styles, and I'm sure that there's video of them all over the internet. I think the last time I saw California Matt Jones, he bowled a tournament in Phoenix, maybe? I feel like he bowled the Cactus Class. Or something.
If he did, I didn't see him.
It was something that I was at. And so I was able to watch him again. It had been several years since I'd seen him. But those with unique deliveries, again, proves in this sport at least, and we've seen it in other sports, unique deliveries and approaches simply just have to be repeated.
It is kind of the beauty of the sport, right? I mean, there's 40 very unique styles here.
You got that right. Eric Jones just fortunately got one left and tossed it in the gutter on a double.
He's going for the Dutch 200 with a double.
39 and 40, starting pretty well. Again, Jones, Bone, Martinez, and there's Anthony Nye. Is Anthony Nye on that pair too?
Yes.
So
I believe Nair is B.
Yeah, so they went the top four. I think, right? Jones, Nye. Yeah, the top four in the standings coming into today are crossing together, and it's gone in groups of four throughout. Got to be 1-5. So.
Yeah, I like that. I like the way they do that. Not random for this squad. You can kind of watch. You know, the 9 through 12 group's going to be pretty entertaining. 5 through 8, stuff like that.
I was curious if that would happen. I thought that's how I did it based on my knowledge from last year. If there were 3 lefties on a pair, how that would ultimately work.
Very interesting practice session over there on that end pair. I don't know if you watched much of what they were doing. Brandon Bone took his dull ball, threw it up 20, and plucked the 10 pin off for half a practice, and then lofted the left cap to not touch the fronts. Anthony threw spare shots until about halfway through practice, then lined up. And I think Eric threw backup balls, I mean, 3/4 of practice, and then moved back out to the left. So it seemed like they really liked what they had on the dead fresh and just didn't want to touch that until they had to. Kind of like when we're throwing urethane. We don't really want to throw too much urethane because then we immediately hits that first transition when we start. Same kind of beat.
J.R. Raymond. Yeah, J.R. would need, and unfortunately he started well or rough on the fresh today. He shot 156, but I mean, honestly, coming into today, as I said, it was 84 pins between 8th and 40th. So
Wow.
a lot of stuff still and will happen. The one thing we know for sure is that Jacob Butcher is already happening. It's current and present. And I think he's on 31 and 32 and on cue. On cue, he
Scan,
strikes.
he's the guy with the triple. No matter what.
On cue, he strikes.
He might get to first by 75 by the end of this.
Well, again, the format for the finals specifically, it is a bracket-style format. So the top 8 seeds, 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, so on. And it'll be best 2 out of 3.
Has anyone slapped some Deadwood out yet? No, but I did see a lot of slapped out Brooklyns in the Desperado last night. That was very entertaining. You notice that every single Brooklyn they
you
just...
got to get there. You got to get there how you get there.
Oh, yeah. I played the Brooklyn Game 6 yesterday. I go Brooklyn, whatever, Brooklyn. I'm like, dude, I shouldn't move my feet.
It sounds like Dan Higgins did something similar. We were talking. I think he had left like 2-4-10. I'm sorry, the 1-2-4-10. I'm tripping. The old washout. He left it 3 times in one game.
Good moves.
He made it twice. And he said, you know, I'm just going to stand here and play the length like I shoot this 1-2-4-10. That's what I'm going to do. So, you know, he's shooting at the 1-2, effectively aiming that way. But I did see that a lot. Wow. Oh. And in front of the 8, nothing doing. I saw a lot of folks. Nathan Ruiz was out there doing that. Not in the 1-2, but he was trying to take the lane out of play, kind of get out of dodge, if you will.
Sure. That's probably the best way to get through the first cut, that like 1 and 1.3 cut. Just throw it at the head pin. If you're not playing brackets, just throw it at the head pin for 5 games. You'll go, if you make enough spares, you can get to 100 under pretty easily. And the cut's always like, minus 150, 175.
Joseph, that's a really good question. Now, my history of this tournament does not go back that far, but that would be a question I will ask Jason Utchwald, because I feel like he's told me a story or two about some runs from players that have been near the bottom of the standings coming into the Cashers round. I mean, if I had to bet based on just history and bowling, I probably bet it's been done once at least.
40th to the win. That's crazy.
Oh, he said 40 to win?
Oh, made the final. I guess made the finals too.
Yeah, I feel like someone could go from 40th and pop in the 8th spot in 6 games.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
winning would be.
Yeah, I was thinking winning. That's man,
that would be
last
something.
to first and 6. Oh, speaking of popping Deadwood, there you go.
Jeremy Thomas, he's had a busy weekend, of course, of bowling. He also worked. He was working next door at the exposition center there, the expo center next door to the bowling center, which had the Farmers Machinery.
Oh, the Tractor Championship.
Yeah.
I almost went and go check that out, man. That looked cool.
So that was going down last night at the tractor pull. But I think Jeremy is in some IT, so he was in the building.
I heard that's like Bowl Expo for tractors.
He described it, I think, as that. Actually.
That's awesome.
I think he literally described it. He said it's like Bowl Expo, but essentially it is for farming equipment, tractors. There's like, I think he said there's like $100,000 tractors.
Wow.
Over there.
These gutters are so loud. You know when it goes in. The whole field knows.
John McCarthy, you might be right. Because I remember Jason telling me a story that sounded similar, and I feel like Tom Small was mentioned.
2012 winner, I believe. Maybe 2011.
I appreciate all of you who have gotten up early this morning to watch bowling on your Sunday morning. I know it is 2 hours out before the start of the Pete Weber Missouri Classic on FS1, so thank you for sharing some time with us here at the Bradley. My name is Emil Williams Jr. with Bowlstream TV. In the booth, Matt Zweig, who is on the PBA tour, out there chasing them week to week, out there grinding. But he won himself a nice 5-figure check at the Agent Ong Open last October. That was your first singles win? Did you tell me that? Or first major singles win?
First 10K for sure.
10K.
That was my biggest check by 7,000.
Biggest check. Did you buy yourself one thing that was like cool? Don't tell all your business, but did you buy yourself at least one thing?
I spoiled myself a bit. Paid off some bills. That was that felt
important.
That felt more like the spoiling.
That
part
was way more important. Debt free is priceless.
Yeah. Also, I remember making a comment about how the lefties were going to hit 39 and 40. They are currently hitting 39 and 40.
Yeah, let's take a quick look over there as they're about to finish up here. And Anthony Nyer slowed briefly by the 187.
Bang. That's a lot of strikes. Wow. Sir.
Last night I described what Anthony was doing. He was essentially like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. You know, just
J.R. Raymond.
just the get over here, like straight at the right in between the 1-2. There's no movement whatsoever from the time his ball is at release point. It's on a rope to the 1-2.
Yep.
And all 10 pins just bulldoze themselves, as if the tractors came from next door, push them out back to the past the deck, and away you go.
We got a Shota sighting. So I actually thought Shota had seen lane conditions like this before. He's from Japan, but I know he's bowled in Korea. And Korea, they flood the lanes.
Okay.
And I was talking to Cody, and he told me he had talked to Shota, and Shota's like, I've never seen this before. So he's making the on-the-fly adjustments he's made to succeed on this are pretty wild.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
On a multitude of levels. But yeah, that's a great kind of almost assumption we're thinking about his experience level.
I mean, he's got perfect ball roll for this. His ball, on tour especially, his ball carves more than everybody else. So if he can get in the lane real nice and kind of Spider-Man it in the lane, you'll see some motion.
When you say carve, like what?
Hey, hook.
Describe. Okay.
Hooking
Gotcha.
in the mid lane. A lot of the guys that aren't striking their balls at 30 feet, they're either going, assuming righty, their balls are going right or forward. It needs to go left.
John McCarthy letting us know. John, you're subtly letting us know that you were a pretty good bowler. Being in the three-way roll-off with Tom Smallwood.
Three-way roll-off. That's wild.
I believe the only three-time champion of the event is still bowling here today. That's Tony Lambert.
He's won this 3 times?
3 times. I think it was 2000, 2004, 2013.
2000? 23 or 24 years ago, this man's winning this tournament.
That's impressive. Longevity.
Yeah. You think we're bowling a single sweeper right now looking at these scores?
Yeah, it's funny how the scores, they go up, down. But again, as we've seen in multiple tournaments, even on tour, when you get to like a round of 16 or something like that, as the field continues to be condensed, and then the players that are left obviously know what they're doing because they've had good looks probably throughout, and the scores keep going higher.
Right. Becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy sometimes. If everybody plays them the same way long enough, they'll become easy. Easier, relatively. They're still hard.
Ben, that's a good note. I really like Nathan's game. I liked him the first time I saw him. He's also one of the pronunciations that actually does stump me every now and then because I just don't remember it. It's been a while since I've seen him in person. But I remember we talked about it at the 2019 U.S. Open.
Oh, my God.
Did you see that ball hook?
Hooked 6 times.
That right there is what we've seen, at least what I've seen, every now and then as the blocks go on, right? And it's like you miss. Even if you hit where you were aiming for, it might just be that time to where it hooks instantly,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna hook again. This group here is, especially on 39 and 40,
Every bowler has a 5-bagger.
just moving right along toward the top 8.
Yeah, they're all kind of locking themselves in, aren't they? I mean, low game on the pair is the gutter 7 there.
And it's because he guttered.
Yeah. Otherwise, give him 7 spare there instead of gutter 7. It's 57. And he still might be low on the pair with 57.
This slightly reminds me of, I forgot, I think it was the Scroggins. Mike and Mark, who put together a group of all lefties to go bowl the Open Championships.
Yeah, he's got like Mike Wolf and all those. Not Mike Wolf. Who's the other Wolf? Wolf from the 90s, lefty.
Oh, yes, I know who you're referring to.
Yeah, which Wolf is that?
I want to say Rand.
Can't remember. Either way, I know what you're talking about, though. They got a.
But just watching them compete, and Benji, and Benji being the low righty on this group, is handling business.
Oh yeah,
which
he's showing.
goes to show how great, from the look perspective, the knowledge he's gained, and then just his overall skill level to be the only righty in this group, and he's not missing a beat. Richie Wolf, thank you.
Richie Wolf. Yeah. Not Brett Wolf. I know Brett. He's an Arizona guy.
If he didn't know Brett, that would be.
Bowled him a couple times.
He might not be able to return back to Arizona.
Speaking of Benji, if I can get on my soapbox a little bit on this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly. No, it won't be too controversial. But no, Benji's doing great. And it's like the PTQ guys, right? They're all doing pretty well. When we show up to these PTQ fields, we really only get a couple of us to be able to show our talents like that. And I think you can see our range of versatility, how good we are, whatever. Just give them a chance, you know what I mean? And we get a chances. You got to advance.
Right.
But when you see these guys in the main fields, they're threats. Everybody in these PTQ fields, for the most part, is so talented.
It feels like, and I don't know all of the names of like, let's just use the PGA, but there's another name for the whatever that second tier tour that they have.
The Corn Ferry.
It feels like every week, like you guys have a mini tour.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah. Obviously whoever advances, and then, obviously we hope to see you continue that momentum. Like, Eric Jones had a nice run at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, exactly.
After winning the PTQ.
So did Trevor, I believe. Trevor Roberts.
He did, yeah. He match play as well.
Who was high PTQ guy this week at the national stop? I don't know. We had a few guys get in there this week, too.
That's right, Pickett. It was the Lefty Mafia.
The Lefty Mafia.
I hope they still do it, too. I always thought that was one of the more intriguing, cool things to kind of follow about the tournament. 256, 223. Benji's going to be in the 230s. Strike away from getting into the 260s. Showed on the right side there.
Score's going up.
Wait, did I get a game? Did I get a game 2 update yet? Did he bring that over?
No, I don't think
they did. Right? Okay.
And our little scrolling number up there hasn't updated either.
All right, thank you for paying attention to that. There's a ticker underneath the monitors for the players can see what the cut number is, which again after 1 is plus 21. If you're just joining us, I have been posting scores as I've received them, taking a photo and posting on the Bowlstream TV Facebook page to keep you up to date in that manner.
There we go. We're shooting 206. It's fine.
Anthony did handle that spare. He shoots 256, a pair of 256 games. And the low there was 226, 223.
Something like that, 220s.
On a pattern, folks, that is difficult. And we all know it. But when you get to this level, this round, you start to see some things that you don't or may not have seen before.
Took a 187 average to take 40 out of 108. They're pretty hard. And that pair went 91 and 79. That's 170 over that game. Okay. I mean, there's a reason they're top 4, right?
Well, they've shown it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Brandon Bone, I'll go back and look at how he started. I feel like he got out to a little bit of a slow start during his squad. It might have been his squad I'm thinking of.
He had 140 game 6 last night on 3 and 4. So I think he was 120 for 5 and then shot that.
Well, he might have been leading.
Yeah, probably. I don't know what Nair was at, but it was pretty close. Again, with the Ocho Diaz.
All right, so I finally picked up on that. So you said that earlier.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it, right? I didn't get it, so it didn't register. But I heard you say it, and I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" And
Yeah,
now,
so
now I get it.
Back home, we got to think if somebody leaves the Stone 8, Andrew or Jake, these guys, what happens when they 8-10?
Oh, when you eat 10, it's like at that point it's.
What do we say?
Oh, Ocho Diaz.
Exactly.
It's like I was just telling people, it's like I shot 730 the first 3, and I'm like I can't even shoot that in league. Like I mean, hugs for Stone 8s.
Yes, Stone 8, you get a hug. Also, Jacob's trolling. I've seen him go front 29 in league before.
Yeah, you can't believe that guy. I feel like there was a stretch where there was some video of him going like 840 for like 3 weeks in a row or something like that.
He's a league crusher. Don't let him fool you. Although I am beating him on Tuesday nights. I'm at 234. I think he's at 32.
Nice. Oh, wow.
Ay. How do you 9-pin on this, man?
Nice recovery, too, from Jason. It went split, and then he got one off the 36910 spare, and then was looking to go sheet. Would have put him in the 240s. We do now have a Game 2 update. And that number right now is plus 34.
Okay, we're moving.
34. It was plus 21 after 1 this morning, plus 34 after Game 2. And that is still Daniel Farish trying to hold off players like Sam DeWitt, Gene Perez, Pontus Anderson. Anthony Nair is the leader at plus 100. That's going to, of course, his total is going to improve. Still leading. Brandon Bone. Brandon Bone shot 250, right?
Yeah, he had 56.
And then Nair shot 256 as well. So it'll be Nair and Bone. They both shoot 256. That'll be 1-2. Jacob Butler said he just shot 730.
He had 206 that game.
All right, so, I'm sorry. Bone and Buttriff were tied at plus 87. So Jacob probably still is third with Eric Jones.
Jones got around him.
Maybe now in third, Buttriff maybe fourth. Shota. Oh, that's a split in the 10th frame there.
That's a 4-7-9-10. A leave we see every day.
Shota's going to have a game now under 200.
Yeah, he gets 2 for 184.
Zeke Bate was fifth at plus 62. Or sixth, excuse me, at plus 62. Benji Martinez was plus 37, and he was seventh, and he just shot 234, as we just talked about.
That's going to go up.
Ninth was plus 8. That is Sam DeWitt. And he's the only or the last player plus at the moment.
So 8 games of qualifying, and we have 9 guys plus. And a pair won 170 over. Okay. Cam Crow here shooting 210. Where's he at?
Yeah, I would say Cam's trying to improve. Well, he jumped to
Is he up there?
22nd.
Okay.
He shot 257 game one today, 172. That open frame will hurt, but he can still get to 220. And again, Cam came in. He was 38th today, so he's already he's on the charge potentially as well. He's on the charge. Will he get there? And obviously that's the question. He's certainly improving some additional numbers on his check, no matter what, as he continues on. Let's get that photo taken. I think I just took it. I'm tripping.
Lefties have rights too.
J.R. Raymond, the Saginaw Valley national champion. He's got himself some Eagles as well at the Open Championship, speaking of. YouTube channel, always discussing bowling balls, reviews, hot topics, etc.
The post PTQ ones are entertaining at times. But yeah, he does some pretty thorough ball reviews. I like it.
Now, didn't you have a little show or podcast with Kyle?
Yeah, and Trevor Roberts.
Okay.
We're on a bit of a hiatus.
Okay.
I'm pretty bad with the whole content thing, but we might get back in the mix.
Why do you think scores are so much higher? Does the righty start further right?
That was a good question.
I mean, I was about to tell them they're not even that much higher, considering there's only 9 guys plus, but, you know.
Yeah, the same amount of people are plus that walked into the building.
Yeah. It might be a tunnel vision kind of thing. You see that pair, it's like, oh my God, everyone's striking. And you look at the next pair's over. You got 2 200s here. One 200 over there. That end pair is getting pretty good. You have Zeke shooting 250 or 240.
Yeah, and that pair produced
250 up there as well.
Daniel
Farish.
Yeah, he shot
That's gonna be like
254.
70 over the next game.
And he's 8th.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are in for a shock when Cut jumps 30 pins this game.
This might end up evening out. This might be an under on your prop.
That's why it's a good line. They sucker you in with the over.
This could be a 4 and 4.
And they peel the under.
It took me forever to
I would have booked everyone's action on the under.
understand the sport betting language.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a nice helper there, Buttriff.
Don't give him the roll 3 also. As he would say, don't let that get hot.
All right, cashier's round, game 2. Again, top 8 advance. Posting in five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I was looking for scores yesterday. I didn't realize the ball stream page had it.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
checking the
just-
Bradley page. I'm like, there's nothing on here.
Yeah, I was trying to help them out.
Yeah.
Because obviously everyone was looking for the standings, so I just said, hey, let me just help out and post it to the page. And then they ended up sharing it.
That's good.
So we can get people the info that
That's
they would
fair.
like to have.
Yeah, I'd look out for the plus 50 cut coming up.
You think it's plus 50? So we've gone
Depends what
21,
Benji should. Yeah, I mean,
21-34. And that was a high-scoring game across the board in game 3 for everybody.
182. I'll tell you exactly what it's going to be. Shota was 182 minus 16 or minus 18. Cut's going to be exactly plus 50.
100% finish line. Love that handle on the advantage of being the only lefty on the pair. Typically, yes, that is correct. The difference here is there's a lot of really good lefties bowling together because they bowled so well in the tournament. They were at the top of the standings, and so they got grouped together to cross today. So like in the case of Benji, it's just him. So now it's not just him in the sense of, there's other righties pair to pair as he's going. But on a game-to-game basis, he's only got to worry about what he's doing.
I'm just writing out rough numbers, what I think.
Okay. I actually got a question for one Jason Utchwall. Need you to hold down the fort for about 2 minutes.
You got it.
Appreciate you.
That's me 50. 50. Yeah, everybody in the top 8 shot a big game. Wow. Plus 50 is the cut. What ball is Butters using? Let me ask him. Jake. Jake. They want to know what ball you're using. What are they? All right. Jake's throwing a Piranha, Pure Madness, and Black Widow 3.0. We turn off the jukebox. Emil stepped away. Sanded blue hammer, no. Percent of total missed pins here. I don't know what that means. I bet you're a big fan, though. It's the same last name. Hey, plus 50. Plus 50. That's rough numbers. That one looks like the Madness.
All right, what's the latest?
I was just updating the chat. I want to know what Jacob was throwing. Some guys are. Andrew came over and said the ball is hooking very early. That's the PG-13 way of saying it. So it seems like the righties are either going to struggle to get it through the fronts, or they're going to use the fronts correctly and do well. These East Coasters, they just loft it and spin it more.
I feel like this is about the time, though, each block, that from the righty's perspective, and even to the lefty degree, too. I saw it in both situations where you think you're throwing it, and you probably got it off your hand well. You hit what you were looking at, but just like we saw Jonathan Cummins' ball kind of hook 3 or 4 times on lane 36.
Yeah.
this time in the block, that's when it starts to really show up.
It's tough too because it's hard to move off that because when you move, it's not guaranteed to hook as much early, and it's not like you have hook down lane. So now you got fresh fronts and fresh down lane. You know, you might move one left and watch out. Put out the super cliff. When we use this much surface, they can get cliffed.
And for a bowler who is just checking in, or I'm sorry, just maybe new to the game, I've actually seen a few players or viewers reach out yesterday and said they were new to the game and just kind of picking some stuff up. Clipped, in that term means what?
They probably hear that as wet, dry, over, under. When you're playing X, whatever that is, and it's hooking too much, and you move off that, and it doesn't hook at all. It's not an incremental amount of oil as you move in. It's like you have this amount of units, and then it's bang. There's like a ton more units when you make that next move.
Which I hear that's more in the house shot perspective, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah. You'd see house shots. I mean, I don't think house shots need to be 12-1, which is why they get cliffed. You know, it was funny, actually. We were talking to the Europeans, Arnar, Svensson, William, Pontus.
Yep.
They never see 12-1 there. The easiest thing they bowl on is 5-1. Like that's their house shot is 5-1. Because anything more than that just becomes super cliffed. So on 5-1, they're kind of blended to start, just a little tricky, and then they stay blended.
Interesting.
Yeah. The other thing too I found interesting is they love these tournaments. We bowled pretty much the same local stuff. We bowled the Joliet 8-gamer last week, some other tournament. I mean, we bowled a bunch of local tournaments.
Okay.
And they love it.
Thank you for supporting the Chicagoland area, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Thank them for allowing the pros to come in and bowl the locals. But they're shocked at how many locals show up, even when they know tour guys are coming. They say in Europe, they would never get any action in a tournament like this, let's say, if they knew that there was guys here that were pros, even PTQ level bowlers. The locals won't show up. They just stay home because it's quote-unquote smart money. Or not our smart money, you know what I mean? Right. But they're shocked that here you get, I mean, how many bowlers we have for this? Like 130, something like that?
Yeah, actually a little more than that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and how many of them are locals that, you know, without, I didn't cash, so I'm a donator too, but how many of them are donators? And they voluntarily say, okay, I'll bowl. There's no donators overseas.
This is game 4 of 6. I do see a front 5 on 29
Speaking
and 30.
of Europeans.
Oh, is that William? It is
William Svensson. I don't think he's related to Jesper.
Yeah, Jeremy had that question too, and I said, I'm not 100% sure. I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. He's got the front 6 though. I'm trying to remember. I don't think there was a 300 in the Bradley Open qualifying proper. There was a couple of 300s in either singles or doubles or both.
There was at least yeah, Jerry Mars had 300 in the sweeper.
Yeah, Jerry did.
Nair and Foy had a Baker 300 in match play.
That's also true, yes.
The high game I've seen, that 279 was the highest game I've seen all tournament. And in qualifying, I believe it was 269.
Excellent. All right, let's reset it for you. In 35, Jerry Mars. And looks like maybe Jacob Buttriff is awaiting a ball return. That sounds like that's the case. Okay. And then Jeremy King, that's Tim Cagle the second, folks. We were talking about Tim earlier. You've probably seen him a ton now. Dan Higgins, Austin Kohler. I think Austin has bowled in the Cashers round. I feel like 2, maybe even 3 years in a row, but I've definitely seen him in this round before. Steve Barron is in the mix over here. Sam DeWitt, Kevin McCune, Chad Roberts, they're on 33 and 34. Well, Bobby, you asked the question, man, so I gotta give you all the answers. I cannot assume that you know Jacob Buttriff.
I think Parker was telling us a story yesterday about somebody Brandon was telling us someone came up to Parker and was talking to him about his kid, right, when Brandon was bowling, but he didn't know who Parker was. Like, he was just this kid's dad. It wasn't Parker Bone. Like, dude, come on. I don't have to explain why that's absurd. All the evens.
Yeah. How about that? That's just, I'm not sure I've ever seen that.
All the evens. That's
I'm
awesome.
not sure I've ever seen. So that is the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Wow.
It's makeable for righty.
I don't think I've ever seen that spared. I've seen it a couple times, but it's, yeah. Get a picture of that one.
We've
Put that in my group chat.
we've reached this weird time to where I think, you know, there's some players who kind of now understand, all right, my chance of making this top 8 might be over. It's got a weird vibe to it a little bit. And there's some obviously who are still trying to, you know, press down on the gas like a Williams Vincent. See if we can get to 7 in a row. That was definitely through the nose. It sounded like a split, and it is.
Yep.
It's nice to see Dan, though, will come away with the cash no matter what, because I had a talk with him yesterday after his qualifying squad. And, you know, we were chatting. Actually, I told you earlier he left 3 1, 2, 4 10s and made 2 of them and just opted to kind of stay right there and just, you know, pointed at the headpin. And he said he just didn't recall, you know, squads like that getting as lower scoring as they did last year.
Yeah, I think the last 2 years I bowled this, there were multiple people 100 over in qualifying. And this year, there's no one even close. I mean, Nair went 80 over the first squad, but beyond that, there was no chance. I will say this. I talked to the tournament director and put in my guesses on how they changed the pattern. And I think they were, based on his reaction, I think they were correct. But he did say if there's anyone that's going to go 100 over, it's going to be a good lefty. And 2 good lefties went 100 over. Just putting that out there.
Really good lefties.
Yeah. Oh, they're world class at what they do.
How old is Eric Jones? You know?
He's young.
I mean, early 20s still?
Yeah, at the most. I mean, he's a kiddo. I could look it
I
up.
was trying to look up some info, but couldn't find it.
I'll check his Facebook.
I want to say, give a quick shout out to, let me scroll up here, M. Ham, who said they had stumbled upon the live feed.
January 2005. So he just turned 19.
Wow.
Yeah, he's young.
Okay. Not even 20. My man. Scoot over a little bit.
Nope.
Oh, wait, that's you. Which one are you? Are you 2? Yeah, you don't know. Who's 2?
I think it's me.
Okay. All right. That new voice you hear is one Jason Utchwall, which is perfect because I had a question for him.
That's good timing then, right?
It is. It is. I went to actually look for you because I was so serious about this question.
I'm pretty deceptive for a heavy guy. Move fast and hide well.
It was just about the bracket and which pairs. That was all.
So we are working that right now.
Okay.
I believe last year we ran, I think it was like 31. There was a little bit of separation in between each one, wasn't there? I think we did like a gap in between.
Right.
So it's going to be more like 31, 32, 35, 36, 39, 40, 43, 44 in that range, but I'll double check, make sure everything sets up well for the the cameras to catch everything.
Yes. Thank you.
But that's just off the cuff.
Low energy time.
Every day. Every day.
Thank you, Bobby Sweet Prince. 19 years old. That's I mean, he's like a modern day. And I have to assume that he's obviously he's bowling on tour, so he's not bowling collegiately. That does not mean he's not attending school, but it does mean he's not bowling collegiately.
Right.
But we don't have a lot of players who just kind of go out there at that age. A few, handful, but not a ton. I mean, Matt, you bowled collegiately. I mean, just about everybody. There's a very high percentage of people who bowl collegiately and then obviously go out on tour.
Sure.
But I feel like was it Trey Land? I feel like Trey Land was out there pretty early. I think he might have been out there even before he was 18.
Want to keep it in the trays, Trey Ford.
Trey Ford, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yes, I think he was out there maybe before he was 18.
I think Eric Jones doing the same kind of thing.
Trey definitely won regionals.
Yeah. I think
14, 15 years old.
Yeah. He tried grinding the whole PBA thing at like 16.
That's an accomplishment right there, right?
More power to him.
All right, so I think Jason gave me scores. Is that what
Yep.
you just gave me?
Yeah, it's 4 lefties at the top, and no, not 4 lefties at the top. There's 2 lefties at the top, and Zeke keeping up with him out there.
All right, so I'm gonna have Matt Zweig read off these standings because that's what we've been doing here.
All right.
So I'm gonna keep him in the mix. Go ahead and read that. I'm gonna post those scores on the Bowlstream TV Facebook page.
Up top, we got a couple of lefties. Nair leading at 156 over. Brandon Bone, 143. Right behind him is Zeke Bate at 106, which he got all of that today already. He's 100 over today.
Yeah.
Eric Jones, 101 over. In fourth, Jacob, nice little run today with 730 to get to 93 over. Daniel Farish, 88 over in sixth. Benji, 72 over in seventh, and Shota is the number at plus 50, 5-0. Pontus, 4 behind him at 46 over. And then there's a bit of a drop-off after that. Sam DeWitt in 10th at even. So we still have 9 in the plus club.
I was going to say, Pontus has made a pretty good jump there. I think it was, what, 220, 250 the last 2 games?
2250. He's
Yeah.
60 over today, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, walking around in the background, always the comments seem to be about, you know, the look on the left in comparison to the look on the right. And I get that. You know, from a tournament director's perspective, you always like the percentages to even up pretty well, like
Sure.
a 4-to-1, you know. And the top half obviously is a little skewed right now. But if you look at it, one righty's had a really great start to the day, and one lefty's had a really great start to the day.
Yeah.
You know, Jacob's gone 730, but Zeke's gone 730 as well. So you talk about 2 completely different ways of getting to where they've got to. And the scoreability still being there, it's just a premium on really good shot making and limiting the mistakes that you make.
Of course. I think the right could have what the left has. It's just a lot tougher for them to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you're elite enough, you'll find, obviously as Zeke's doing, he's very elite at what he's doing right now, going pretty straight.
Yeah.
He'll find a way.
Benji's doing the same kind of look, it looks like to me, for Zeke. They're playing that same type of area.
Yeah. Just straight angles. Find the early hook, let it stop.
Yep.
Now I got all the viewers earlier with the line at 4.5 lefties in the top 8, and the whole chat spammed over. It's not gonna be over. Could have booked all their action.
4.5 lefties.
And that half lefty would be Tim Cagle if he gets there.
Yeah. I was watching him earlier, you know, and that's, as I say that, he's just coming off 38 with a strike, but super unique. You know, it's not a delivery or a style that you see too often.
Yeah. Yeah, the chest pass.
But it's super effective out there right now. I mean, he's doing a great job.
Yeah, he's bowling great. I bowled tournaments, I bowled regionals against him and stuff. He's a grinder. He bowls everything. He'll bowl pot games during the week, bowl regionals, bowl tournaments on the weekends. And He's always bowling.
I've got to give out shout out to to the person I think has grounded out the best this weekend is Dan Higgins, because he forgot his bag and he doesn't have his own shoes, and he's whacked them all weekend.
16th.
Yeah, I mean, and he doesn't have a lot of his own stuff, so.
Whose stuff is he throwing right now?
I have no idea. He's got his own bowling balls. He just doesn't have the shoes and the extra parts with him, and he's just.
That's awesome.
It shows the caliber of the player when you're going out there, and I think a lot of us with shoes are really picky.
Yes.
Making sure that the fit's right, or you've worn them, and wearing in a new pair of shoes is not always the most fun process. And then to come here for this kind of mental grind, to know that you're not got everything comfortable the way you'd want it. And Dan's a super meticulous person as well, so for him to not have that, I think the most impressive part of the weekend in terms of different for someone, Cam Crow was half an hour early this morning.
Wow.
Emil's laughing.
Working miracles out here.
32 minutes early. I was like, who are you?
That reminds me of my boy GT, Greg Thompson. Start at 9, walks in at 9:08. Like, bro.
You saw what Cam did here last year, right?
We're not going to do this. It's Black History Month.
Oh.
We're not doing it.
Hey,
I'm just playing.
It's a good rewind from last year. Did you see what he did last year?
No,
Remind me.
There's a reason why Cam was specifically called out yesterday.
Correct. So last year, Cam was sitting in second. We get here.
Oh, he was talking about it yesterday. Tell the story. That's
so
epic.
Cam gets the second. I mean, he's arguably got the best look. I think Emil will agree going into the morning. I mean, he had
top
it.
it.
And we're getting ready to go. Cam's nowhere. Nowhere to be found. People are calling. I'm Facebook messaging them. I'm like, dude, we start like in 2 minutes. Where are you at? Get through practice. Nothing. And in the over decade that I've ran this event, never in my life have I had to zero somebody for frames, ever. And I walked down, and Brianna Clemmer's bowling with him on his pair, and I think it was Jalen. Jalen was bowling with him, and I'm pretty sure it was Keith Schuler as well that was on his pair. And I go down, and I'm like, Cam's not here. So I've got no other recourse than to, zero him. If it wasn't for them slow playing, I think Cam would have missed 7 frames.
Yeah, I was going to say, he might have definitely missed more frames.
He missed 5 frames, man, and he missed the cut by 14 sticks. 14 sticks. Like, went completely – he shot 109 for the back 5 frames.
I was going to say, the more impressive thing, was when he got here, obviously no practice.
Yep.
He finishes with 109, which is really good in the amount of time. And then he shot like 250 the next game.
Yeah.
Made up all the wood right there.
He had the look. He had the look, and it's just – but now it's like constantly cutting him crap, and then
he slept through the alarms.
Yeah, slept through the alarms, and then Jerry Marge makes it like a little bit worse for him last night, because he tells me some stories from Chicago where Cam's ran a little bit late and called Jerry, and I'm going to be there. And he's like, dude, you were not supposed to tell Jason that. You were not supposed to tell him that at all. I'm like, man, I'm going to get on the live stream and give you a call out and say that, we appreciate you being here half an hour early this morning.
Almost won it today.
Yeah. Well, he did out the gate, 250 out the gate.
Well, there's a very small path, but he probably need to go 100 over at least the last 3 games.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Need some help. What are these number guys shooting?
I think he said Mulligan.
Oh.
Yes, this is Jacob Butcher right in front of us looking around other scores. Again, I mentioned the bowling pace. That end pair, though, has been sneaky high scoring. And the end pair in play today is 43 and 44.
Yep.
That's one of the pairs just outside of camera range, but
Is that Nair with the string? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
now to be fair, the players currently on it, as I think Brandon Bone picked up a nice split. I'm not sure what it was, but that group has been high scoring all day.
Yeah, and it's different for him because you got 3 lefties on that pair as well. a little bit different from what they're normally used to because there's not as many. That pair's got 3, and they're all playing well.
Looks like Brandon's going to shoot 190.
Yep.
Jones going to shoot 160.
Scores are posted, by the way, too, on the Bullstream TV Facebook page, folks. Head there, check it out. Our number again, Matt, is what?
Plus 50, 5-0.
Plus 50. Plus 50 is the 8th place spot after 3 games. What's our projected finals time to start? Give or take?
We have to get everything out re-oiled. I mean, it depends on the pace here. If we can get everyone going a little bit quicker. I've already got checks ready for the guys that don't make it to the top 8, so that's ready to go. Just kind of got to put names on it, and they're ready. But
make sure I got the right time on the finals event, or as close to it as I can.
Yeah, we said checks would be ready by 1:30, but it's probably going to be quicker than that. So if we can get the guys back out on the lanes within an hour,
okay,
because it's enough time to go through and re-oil everything.
Okay.
Zeke Bate over there putting in some work. Got a 4-bagger up.
You know what, man? He did that last game too. I mean, he started off with a, strike, couple spares, and an open, and then I swear I think he went like the back 7 or 8 for 240.
Andrew Hall 211. Where's Andrew at? And
he's close. That gets him to plus.
Okay.
Welcome to the plus crew.
All right. Two left.
Pontus. What a Pontus.
He is. Well, he's kind of surveying the field right now, so I'm not sure.
So Anthony looks like he's going 230 down here.
Yeah.
I think Benji's going to sneak out, if he can cover this, another 2-0.
Okay. Eric Jones probably going to be the number after this game. That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, that'll probably put.
Unless Farish bowled a low game. I don't think he did.
He was up shooting now. I don't know what he's got down there.
And Shota, he's bowling okay. The scores are out there for the taking if you want to get there. It's only 60 over, right? If you're at even, it's like, okay, it's 250 one time.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, is that how you approach it?
At this point with, what, 2 games to go, yeah, kind of. If I'm 60 out, it's like, all right, how do I throw a 6-bagger one of these 2 games? It's a lot easier to do it that way than, okay, I'm going to go like 220, 220. That's much. I think that's tougher than 250.
I think the variable with this one, though, is someone could always go back to you, too.
True.
You turn around and you talked about, like Eric, that last game shot 160, and he's been cruising pretty well.
Right.
Really all weekend since he started. He's done really well. But, one 150 game in there for you, and you're with a 50-pin lead, and someone shoots 2-0, and they're right there even with you. Let alone shooting 220 and maybe going into the last game with a 20-pin lead.
Gotta love the squeeze factor.
Yeah.
We talk about that in the PTQs a lot, actually. When scoring pace is kind of going up the last game, it's like everybody's going to squeeze.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to Emil about that last night. It always seems like to me coming into the last game that everyone jams on the brakes, right?
Yep.
It seems like the pace slows down significantly. The ones that are comfortable and they're in a set position, they continue like normal. The ones that they know that they're squeezing, they back the time down.
Also the face, brother.
I'm just curious, because did you need like a step ladder or like fucking? Did you need like a forklift or something to get up there, or what's going on?
Getting trolled.
they use a pulley system? So,
Oh, you're really bringing me down.
They put all the names in a hat and they do it.
oh, okay.
You got the face of the 900 Global franchise in front of me, just trolling.
Well, yeah. Well, so far, right now I'm gonna either shoot 270 this game or 150.
That's a pretty good margin.
Right now.
Yeah.
Calling it right now. Maybe or maybe 200. I'll say 3 scores. It's either
What
gonna
you
be
gonna do?
200, 150, 270. What am I gonna do? Hopefully strike. I have no idea.
What pair?
Because everything I've tried so far hasn't fucking worked. I've hit a lot of different arrows and a lot of different pins on the first ball.
What pair are you hitting?
Not the ones I was trying to hit.
Here?
37? Are we on 37? Okay, we're on 37.
18, stand 18 with the Zen.
18 with the Zen.
Look like 12.
Okay, 18 with the Zen.
Yeah.
This is what my ball rep's telling me to do? Okay, alright. Well, I gotta go find it. Now it's making me do work. I was hoping to just like throw him down the middle and shoot 270.
Now, I'm curious if your viewers have seen his spare ball grip,
I mean, I doubt it.
because it is legendary.
Sounds like it's worthy of a photo.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay,
I'll have him bring it over here.
we can post it.
It's that Tour Dynamics sitting right there.
Oh, okay.
Let me have him bring it over here. Hey, Rob, can we see your spare ball? Can we see your spare ball? Here's a grip.
So, all right. So I'm gonna take a photo of it. Then I'll post it somewhere. So what is the unique significance regarding that?
So one, I think he said he had some tendon issues with his ring finger, or some issue with the ring finger, but it helps him just puck it. He just like almost like a 50s release where it's just full
Zen
roller.
18, is that what you told me to do?
Yeah.
All right.
Look at like 12.
You owe me a beer if I don't strike.
All right, you got it. Only stocked like 700 this weekend, but I owe him a beer.
Hey, Matt, he owes you a beer if he doesn't hit what he's looking at.
Oh, well, he's not going to hit what he's looking at. That's why I said look 12. Hopefully he gets to 14.
We have reached officially now Game 5.
I'm good.
Pontus Anderson, he's someone to keep an eye on. Where was William Vincent? How far was he? Inconsiderably, not too bad, but.
I have the scorecards right here.
So Pontus is someone to keep an eye on. Oh my.
The face.
Okay. B-Rob did what Matt Zweig suggested. We'll see how far he can keep this going. Philip Watson is someone to keep an eye on. Joseph saying
Like
that
the most fun we had all day.
he made a big jump Game 9.
I have no idea if I hit 18, but
I don't care what you hit.
I looked at it.
The Tomas Keiko clone? Yes. That's what they do in Northern Europe. They just clone everyone.
That Pontus guy, he's really good. Now he's speaking in another language.
This is the hooking year.
This is the hooking you.
So Pontus is going to end up making this cut. And he's going to end up winning. And he's going to return every single year.
Yep.
Because that's just how it's going to play out.
That means he's going to force Kim to come back because Kim doesn't want to be the, you know, they're all from Sweden, right?
360. Yeah,
I
he's
think
he's from Sweden.
Pontus is.
I think William is.
Isn't Kim?
too.
Baldy?
Kim lives in Sweden. I don't think he's from there originally.
So moved there. So he
Yeah.
he resides in Sweden.
Yes.
So we'll say
Yes,
he's from there because he lives there.
Yeah.
And Arnar, who had a nice brief combo with him yesterday or Friday, he is originally from Iceland, but he also lives in Sweden.
Seems to kind of be the Northern European hub of bowling in Sweden.
I was born and raised over in England myself. So
The Swedish league is legit.
Tell by your accent.
So it's a little blended, right? A little blended.
The Swedish league is legit.
Yeah, those things are fun to watch if you've ever seen them. For any of your viewers to get a chance.
They had
Swedish
some, I
league.
think they had some live streaming big match. I saw Yeni Wegner post about that maybe last week at some point. Hello to Chuck. I see you, Chuck Ritchie. He was talking about Pontus, right? Because
Svensson kind of throws it like Keiko.
I'll tell Chuck to let us know who he was referring to. But Pontus starts with 3 in a row. With, again, 2 games left. V-Rob.
Oh, God.
Well, he's in the right part of the lane. Why did
You
you
got to tell him the right lane hook more.
But I was saying, why did you suggest that particular area of the lane to play?
Because the righties on this pair had played like 9-10.
Okay.
And you need to be just left of it with a dull pearl. And I knew he had that Zen that was dull. But I think if you can just get on the inside of that shim, based on what he likes to see, it should do exactly what it just did, and either 4-pin or strike. And if he windows it, it's not going to wash out. It'll just 1-2-4. Right lane hook more. Bad ball rep. Forgot to tell you the right lane hook.
Did you see a 4-pin jump out of the way?
I love B-Rob.
What do you think this number is going to be after when we get this update?
It'll be whatever Eric Jones is at.
All right.
Or Shota. Actually, whatever Shota's at. So 58 to mid-60s. I don't know. I couldn't tell the exact number. But it looked like he had a couple doubles and maybe one open.
What did Daniel end up with last time?
223 total. He's moving right along.
Yeah, he's chilling. So we got I think 4 people that are going to be in the hundreds. Top 3. And then Jacob's at 95. Farish is at like 100.
Jason, did Philip Watson make the top 8 last year? Was he close? Or am I just making that up?
I think he was close. I'd have to double check.
Check. I think I got my Facebook memories came up with the standings.
My man.
I mean, if I work it backwards, I know that it was obviously Graham and Kyle in the final.
Yeah.
Kyle bowled Cody Shoemaker in the semis. I'm pretty sure it was Graham Faw against Brett Shepard in the semis. He had Grondin, who was bowling.
I'm going to complain to the manager that these pins are not striking when I want them to.
Might be operator error. I think it was Grondin that bowled Kyle in the first round.
That sounds about right.
So I've got 5 of them.
And Stubler made it.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I don't think our Watson friend made top 8 last year.
No.
Well, if he didn't, I felt he was close. I do feel he was bowling in this round last year, making a run, trying to do it again. PowerPoint would love to do that for you. Pretty simple at this point. We've got 2 games left of the Cashers round. After Game 6, the top 8 will advance to a match play or really bracket-style format for finals.
Yeah, and those are all best 2 out of 3. They're first player to win 2 goes through. No accumulated pinfall there. And the finals this morning are the 6 games that everyone bowled last night, plus their 6 games they're bowling this morning.
So again, top 8 after this round. And as Jason just mentioned, the combined 12-game totals from the Advancers round and the Cashers round. It's been fun for those of you who have watched since this morning. If you've watched for the last couple games or if you're joining us for the first time, most of the players who started the day near the top of the leaderboard have remained there. Eric Jones, we believed he has taken a subtle dip based on what he shot in game number 4. We will confirm that once we get our latest score update. Shota was in the top 5. I think he was 5th for the majority of this round. And the latest score update saw him move to 8th. Rob checking the approaches. Pontus Henderson looking for 5 in a row.
I was just about to say, I think he's got the hot hand right now.
Yeah. What did you shoot last game?
Well, third game I know he shot 250. We were trying to figure out what he shot last game, but he was over like kind of surveying scores.
Okay. Yeah, we were talking about that. He looked pressed, but
Yeah.
who knows?
But
everybody's pressed.
off the start, I mean,
700.
yeah.
Was that high set?
No, it was Jacob
Higher.
that had high set, and I think Zeke was actually second to him through 3.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Jacob, 85 and 48. A 133.
So 33.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Zeke was about 30.
33, man. I can't even shoot that in the league. How are they shooting that on this? I'm crossing pairs.
Pontus shot 213.
Okay.
That
That's
was
good.
that was game 3.
So
Game
that might be
4?
59.
Yeah, I mean, and he's obviously started off great here. I mean, he seems to be getting a better look as he goes.
He went 183, 223, 253,
Yeah.
213.
Looks pretty good to
These
me.
Europeans, man, they all just crack on it at the bottom.
Yeah.
So when they see this, they see a little bit of hook, a little bit of hold, and it's game on.
William Vincent just shot 262.
Whoa, whoa. He was at minus a lot. He was at minus 33. 30 over.
I am Neil.
How you doing?
I got you 2 hugs.
Good to see you.
One for your wife.
I got you.
We've got Kim Ison that's just turned up outside the booth. You know, Emil, we get to talk about her almost 300s again right now.
I can't. I don't have it 'cause I can't carry the 9-pin or the 8-pin anymore.
Oh, Corey
Hey,
Baker.
she's back here giving me soft excuses about not carrying the 8 or 9 pin. But I said again, I mean, if she shoots 299, I'll chop the head off the 300 pin just for Kim. You know, write 299 on there. But I also said, you know, Josh could always shoot 300 again before she does, and then he'll get one of those nice black and red pins.
Well, he has 5 of the clear ones, so my goal is to get 5 of the black ones.
That's a good point, Corey Baker.
David Stouffer.
He was, he's excellent.
Who's that?
David Stouffer.
Yeah, he finished runner-up here.
Yeah, Corey Baker mentioned he just realized that he wasn't bowling tournament this year.
Yeah, I don't think David bowled last year.
So this was 2 years I'm
2
thinking
years,
about, right?
Yeah, 2 years.
He definitely made it 2 years ago. I remember
Yeah.
that.
I saw him at another event then, but
He made back-to-back top 8s. So he finished runner-up to AJ, I'm pretty sure. Was it runner-up to AJ?
correct.
I think so.
Yeah, AJ won in 22.
Yeah, he was runner-up to AJ, and he made another top 8. So he's done really well here. You know, there's a couple of guys that it seems like they either make the top 40 each year or make a run to the top 8. Like I feel like Daniel's here almost every year, top 40.
Yeah,
he's got the perfect game for this.
He said, well, just bowling the event in general. He said as long as he's here, which he's grown up here, he's always gonna bowl the tournament.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about, I don't remember how many years, but I think it's been a while since he's missed the top 40.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry Mars is the same way for me. Love Jerry to death. Super great guy. You know, I would say he's a friend for me, and great attitude for bowling for me, and a great advocate for bowling in general. But every year he comes and he seems to make the top 40. And then I think it was 2 or 3 years in a row, or 2 years in a skip year, and he made the top 8 each time. I mean, and that's
he's good, man.
that's grinding with making 3, you know, and we change the pattern every year. I mean, some of the viewers might not see, obviously, and Matt, you'd be able to speak on it vastly better than I can.
Y'all changed the pattern this year.
The pattern's different, you know. Oh, that's another one. Wow, front 6. But, you know, I'm always an advocate for it being different. So the versatility out of a lot of you guys coming here and making the top 40 or, you know, picking up a check or bowling well throughout the weekend, it just shows you guys' versatility all the time.
Well, thank you. Yeah, these PTQ guys that are kind of making a run right now. I mean, half the guys in the top 8 bowl PTQs. And they're good bowlers. We were talking about it earlier, kind of give them a chance. And they make main fields, I mean.
Yeah. Well, I said what's neat for me as well, I always watch each year to see what my ratio is for rights to lefts, what the ratio is for the bowlers that are here. I always love to see the people that have, you know, won a spot to get here in the morning. You know, because we run those throughout the season. I understand $360 is a lot to invest sometimes to participate. But some of the guys that are bowling today and that bowled this weekend have won their spot in for as little as $20. You know, so you think when they're getting here in the morning and they're cashing for a check at a minimum of $600, if you've got in for $20, I think that's a pretty good return on your investment.
I'd say so. Rob with the old 510. Didn't get right at 20. Wasn't 12.
Man, Keith started this this round so well. Game 1, he had the front 6 or 7, maybe.
Who was this?
Keith. He's bowling on 37 and 38.
Schuler?
Keith, yes. But obviously, of course, struggling here, trying to nice spare.
Oh,
I'm tripping. I was looking at game 1. I'm like, where in the world is this front? Whatever. That's
I should say
big
game
joke.
1 today,
yeah,
game 7 on the score sheet.
Yeah, much better.
B-Rob picked up that 510,
He
man.
did.
Let's go, face. 510s.
Pontus.
Oh.
Again, 7. We were talking about those winning spots. You've got Samuel Wooten on 38. This is back-to-back years he's made the top 40. Back-to-back years he's won his spot to get in. And then 2 years ago, he was the first guy out to make top 40.
Yes, he was.
Now, B-Rob, 12 doesn't mean 22. 12 doesn't mean 22.
12 doesn't mean 12.
It said, look, 12. Now we never got right at 22.
I think I aced it. What are you talking about? Are you kidding me? Oh, by the way, I'm going to try the backup on the next one.
Emil, you know what the best thing is with all the international guys?
What's that?
They are all fellow soccer fans, just like I am.
Oh, for sure. Yes, I would. Yes. What's your?
I'm a Liverpool fan.
Okay.
So's Pontus. We get to cut Chad Roberts a lot of crap. He's a Man United fan. He must be hating life right now. Their team is bad, like bad.
I need them Tottenham fans.
That's pretty rare, though, right?
Tottenham.
Who is?
Are any of
You
them?
are?
No,
Oh, I don't know.
I just see memes. I just see memes about that team.
I think sometimes it takes a special person to be a Tottenham fan. You know, I've got a couple of friends in England that are Tottenham fans, and it's like, compare it to whatever American football team or basketball team that always flatters to deceive and you think that they're going to have a good season, and then they just dump it.
That's easy.
I know what you're gonna say.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Dallas.
That's easy.
Chad said his football team, and I was like, God, why? He's a Cleveland Browns fan and a Man United fan. I said, man, you just must really hate watching sports all year long. All year long.
Fast pace because Pontus is striking here on 35 and 36. We do have standings, and we will go to the update in 1 second. Pontus.
Oh, and he gets it out for 8, and I'm going to hand this over to Matt to do his update.
Oh, hey, thank you. There we go. All right, game 10 update. 2 more to go. In the lead, still Anthony Nyer. A little loud.
You good?
Anthony Nyer, plus 190. Kind of running away a little bit. Brandon Bones, second, plus 139. Zeke Bate, plus 124. He's in third. Daniel Farish, 111 over. Jacob Butcher making a little run today, 95 over in fifth. Benji Martinez in 6th at 71 over. Eric Jones, 61 over. He's in 7th. Pretty close around the number here now. Pontus, he is the number currently at 59 over in 8th. I don't think
that's going to change.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be the number after this game.
I don't think so either.
Although he only does have 0 at the moment. But
Right.
That might change. Just outside the number, Shota, 196 last game to get to 46 over. Nick Arvin, 234 last game. We haven't said his name like at any point.
No.
He's 31 over. He's in 10th. And William Svensson in 11th at 29. Outside shot for Andrew Hall at 7 over. He's in 12th.
Yeah, like you mentioned a minute ago, Matt, I don't think Pontus is going to be the number anymore.
No. He's good.
He could go from the number to first in a game.
Well, he would be the second
let's
person
just give him 79. What is that?
to throw that out there, because that was Buttriff was on that path.
Yeah.
For the first 3 games.
Yeah.
138. Yeah, if he shoots 279, he forces Brandon to shoot 200 in second.
It's been a quiet ascent too for Pontus.
I think he's that A over there with the 5-bagger.
Oh yeah, that might be a little bit more difficult. But it looks like Anthony's not having the.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Anthony's not having the smoothest game over there.
No, that's a lot of.
That looks
numbers.
like split first frame and a couple spares after that, and 1 strike so far.
Shooting 170.
Yeah, that'll change a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a little cushion, but you don't really want to. Don't really want to have to use it.
Oh, Zeke bait.
That's huge.
I've
Nice
said that
break.
all day. Zeke's like grinding it out.
Clean living.
He's a grinder, old school.
I mean, for anyone that doesn't know Zeke, I think he's a super smart guy. You know, we were talking yesterday and even talking this morning, and he said something about like running into a 160 game yesterday, and that he knew he'd caught a bad pair in regards to how people had beat it down. Ground out his 160 game because it could have got a lot worse, and then popped off like a 240 after that.
Yeah.
And me and Emil talked about that a lot last night. A lot of people on the stream might look at a 150 as a bad game, but I think you could definitely speak to it better, Matt. If you get out of a game with a 150 in comparison to maybe a 120 or 130, you're actually gaining sticks in comparison to losing more than you think.
Yeah, if you look at your block as a sequence of 60 frames and not 6 games, then yeah, any double that, right, you find marks off having no ball reaction and getting off a pair. Those things add up long term.
Yeah.
Totally agree. But you don't feel it in the moment because you look up and you shoot 150 and the bracket guy says you shot 150.
Yeah.
And you know, that sucks. But knowing that it could have been 20 pins worse, that's the same as doubling in cents for 270 versus 250.
But I tell you what, I mean, for any of the any kids that are watching the stream today or college bowlers looking to improve their game, what you said right there is like priceless.
Yeah.
You know, if you're looking at 60 frames in comparison to 6 games, and you're worrying, you put more of a focus on the marks that you're getting and filling the frames instead of necessarily what the game score tells you. You might put yourself in a lot better position.
Yeah, the score just is what it is. That's just that 10-frame block.
Right.
You know, and then you think about ways to build a game without going too technical. But
Yeah.
that's 6.
Oh.
Brandon shooting 2-0 this game, it looks like. On open with a double. Who is that? Then who's the other guy in their pair?
That's what I was going to say.
forget.
Who's the
Benji.
Is that Benji on
No,
top?
not Benji. The other lefty.
That's not Benji on the top.
Eric Jones.
Jones.
That's
Wow.
Jones. Strike spare sheet right there. Could go 280.
That changes things.
Yep.
Yeah, it's far from decided.
That'll definitely be a bounce back from the 160.
And the seating still is important, even though it's a bracket style. But that lane choice always comes into play.
Yeah.
Jacob looks like he's smiling.
And we are bowling on the fresh,
He's shooting
as we said.
220.
Correct for the finals.
Yes.
Open there for Pontus, but still 264 max out there. Out to my man Samuel Wooten. Yesterday, me and Brandon working with the skeleton apparel. Today we got a little Raphael going on. Loves the Ninja Turtles.
I've seen some creative jerseys this weekend, I'll tell you that. Jerry Mars sweeper jersey. Oh, man. If y'all want a trip, check that one out on Facebook.
For those of you who've been watching in the chat, as we approach the final game of the cashers round, any ideas on what you think might go down, or maybe even what you would like to see based on, you know, some of your favorite bowlers and who you're watching and following today? While you're around, please hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to Bowlstream TV. After the cashers round is complete, that's a nice break. We will have, take a small break. The lanes will need to be re-oiled, checks to be made, etc. So there'll be a little bit of a break before the finals do begin. But it won't be too much, but there will be a break. So make sure you are subscribed. That event, of course, already scheduled. You'll be alerted when we do go live. Right now, I think I have that event.
That's a good double for William there.
He shot he's shot 262 last game.
Yeah, and he can go 239 here. So he go plus 101 in 2.
This next hit's huge then.
Yeah.
The only other outside shot that we don't really know too much, Chad Roberts can shoot 237, and that would get him to 36.
Oh,
over.
that's back-to-back. Well, one washout, one split for Pontus right there.
Man.
So front 8. 240 still a good number right now.
So assume that 41. He's at 100 right now, so let's give him 102.
Eric Jones just came off his streak down there. He just left the 7.
25.
What pair is that? 31?
For
Eric Jones?
Eric Jones, I think it's 2930.
2930.
2930.
Right, just outside of camera. Right?
And Brandon Bone just opened down there.
Yeah, so that's 160.
160? Yeah, he's going to go 190 something here. Well, could
Let's
go
just give
190
him
something.
180. I mean, 119. Where's Daniel Farish?
He's right over here to your left.
Right to our
left.
He's
see.
up right now.
Oh boy, 101 in the 7th.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's going to push him down a little bit there.
Yeah, it's problematic.
Yep.
And William 227. It's 56.
Nick Arvin is also on that pair, by the way. 33 and 34.
Yeah, I don't even know what this guy looks like.
That is him right there wearing the
the gray?
Cincy. Got the Cincy
Okay.
gray jersey right there.
So he's before 2 rounds. He's shooting 200.
Big washout conversion.
Shota's over 2, shooting 180.
Yep. And you know what? As we watch everyone else's scores and we keep going, Zeke is just plugging along.
He's doing his thing.
My man Ryan Reed. Appreciate you tuning in. Ryan, there is an alum trying to hang on to a spot in the top 8, try to win this tournament. And one Daniel Farish. Hello, Paul. Ben, Annabelle. Hey, let me take a quick picture of
Oh
that.
yeah, sorry about that.
You have scribbled all over.
I have scribbled all over it. My apologies.
It's okay.
I can erase that on the side if
That's
you need.
okay. It just means we do work around here.
That's another good game again for William. 227. What was it? 262 last game, Matt?
262 last game for
262.
William.
So he's plus 89 for the last 2.
Yes.
That might put him in as the number right now. How
It's
far
gonna be a
back?
little more than that. Number.
So he's just outside. He's what, in 11th?
56 is the outside right now.
Yeah. So he's just gone plus 27, so he's plus 83.
Who was that? Oh no, Svensson.
Yeah.
That was with 27.
Oh,
Like
that's with the
56,
tw-
right?
oh, that's
He's
with the
gonna be
26.
56 going
Okay.
into it. Yeah.
So is he going to be just outside?
I think. I mean, it depends what Benji's shooting, but I can't really.
Benji's on the same pair with Eric Jones there.
Yeah,
Jones
he's
went
B,
open in the.
right?
Oh, he missed in the 9th. He missed the 7-pin.
Benji's D. Yeah, that's a lot of numbers.
Yeah, he's 197 max, I believe.
Wow.
I think that's what he's got there. Yeah, 197 max.
Jones with a washout on his second ball on the 10th.
So either Benji or Svensson are going to be the number
Yeah.
at 56, or if Benji's below that, then
Where's Daniel at right now before he goes up into the,
111.
he's plus 111?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to need to do a little bit of work here.
61 is 39, 72.
Yep, still be in there. Definitely cut that cushion down a little.
Yeah,
See, a double in the 10th here would be huge.
that'd be massive. And that's kind of to your point, what you were
Right.
saying about getting off the pair. To find a double with no ball reaction feels like finding a six-bagger when you have a
Yeah,
look.
100%.
It's the same kind of equity.
You know, I'd feel, and again, I haven't been in the same position as you guys have for this caliber event, but I would assume if you have you get off the pair and your last shot gives you a little bit of boost, that you got a good break or you got something to go your way, I would assume that could give you some momentum going into the next game.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if that first shot of the next pair does the right thing,
Yeah,
it's automatically attack. It should be automatic attack mode.
Right.
Like, I need to shoot minimum 220 on this. And if I don't, I lost 30 pins or
Yeah.
40, you know. You shoot 190 when you think you had it, because maybe you missed a spare or whatever. Minus 30.
Nick's not having the best game on this one.
Oh, but he still might have the highest game. Oh, wait, did we have a 270 today? Jacob, never mind.
Yeah.
He might still have the second highest game then on the tournament. 267 yesterday.
Shoda got that one in a little bit.
Eric Jones had 269 yesterday.
Boom, third.
Kind of brutal for Nair game 5 yesterday, a high game pot. Shoots 245, doesn't even win because Brandon shot 255.
And then the funny thing on that, on one of the other high game pots, Kevin McEwen wins with like a 214.
I heard about that, yeah.
You know, I heard his name called as I was wrapping up things yesterday, and I was like, was that a high game call?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Take that with a 214. Why not?
That's like a walk in the.
He said he felt like he stole it.
Yeah, that's like a 10 of hearts, getting a book in spades. Just let that king walk.
I think if my eyes are, did Benji double up going into the 10th there? He's up right now.
It looks like 9. Looks like a 2-pin.
I didn't know
like
if his
Nair
first ball on the
doubles.
10th was that.
Looks like Benji is 27 in the 8th with strike 9. I could be wrong though.
I was looking on the wrong side.
Hey, he can shoot 177.
177. Okay,
It's going to
so
back him down a little bit.
So minus 23
And
Thank you for watching,
is 48.
Christopher Hester, by the way.
big shout out to Chris. I was super appreciative that he was able to come out and bowl this weekend. Always one of my favorite people to watch. Big shot for Daniel there. That's that double in the 10th.
Yeah, that raises the chances a lot.
Yeah.
Nair finished at 187.
Okay.
Shoda finished with a 186.
Arvin.
Arvin
No,
166.
yeah, that's no good. So we are looking at, if my math is correct, Benji out and William in at 56.
And here Daniel goes again. This could be a turkey into the 10th, turn that 160 into a possible 180.
A lot of good saves we've been talking about this week. This would be one of those.
That's close.
Got a hook.
Still not bad, though. I mean, he's
That's
going to
fine.
take that out with a 170 and walk away.
Yeah,
And-
Hunter won in the 7th. You take 170.
Oh, yeah. When in reality there, that double gave him an extra 10 sticks that he's walking away with.
Yeah.
Mr. Hester, check your messages too, by the way.
So 48 is going to be first out right now. Shoda 32. And that's really it. Maybe Chad Roberts at 27.
Chad shot 27 that game?
Yeah, so Chad will be 20 over. He's got an outside shot.
Yep.
But the number
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking is 58.
Tony Preston's guess is in play still.
Who's his guess?
We were talking about players in the 20s after the standings came out last night who could make a run to the top 8. I picked Buttriff, and he picked Chad Roberts.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Risky guess with Butters there.
Yeah.
Never seen him make a run like that.
I've been around the block a time or two. I saw what was happening on the left. I'm like, all right, if there's anybody that could do it, it's him.
I'll tell you this. Jake is one of the only people I've seen in any competitive sport, let alone bowling, where when he's ready to win and he's ready to lock in, he just manifests it, and it just happens. Sometimes
That's a gift.
Yeah, sometimes he gets fried, and you know he's like, "I'll forget this. I'll just whatever." Right?
That's a break right there.
Yeah, it is.
Let's go, Zeke, babe.
But I think coming off the 6th place, I think Jacob is ready to win.
Game 6 or game 12 overall, combining the advancers round and the cashers round. And we're going to see Mr. Bone, Mr. Nair, Mr. Martinez. And Mr. Jones on 37 and 38. Keep going. I think that's you, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, that works.
Let's see where Daniel is going down to. Thinking he might be on 41 and 42. Yep, so we'll have Daniel on, looks like 43 and 44, already 2 frames in. Pontus Anderson is there, so we'll have an eye on the score of Pontus because he's going to be done first, it looks like, which is good for tallying purposes.
Yes.
What's the best? What lanes do you want for the top 8?
They just have to be between 20, 31, and 42.
One of them's going to fall off because we got the gap in between.
Try to have the 2-inch spin reality if I done that on that.
If I go 31, 32, 35, 36, 39, 40, then you got 43 and 44 off the end. We'll move in. Right.
Where's the final? Try to get off one.
What's the best pair?
Whatever one you want. I mean, preferably one of these. Preferably. It doesn't have to be because I can get to where.
So like 35, 36? Yeah.
We were just there last year.
Yeah. So let's do that.
There's a specific pair that you want to have.
Yeah. So I'll find out.
No, you're good. What time will they, when we plan on starting match camp? This is done about 30 minutes after?
No more than an hour. Enough time for the lanes to get ran.
And then a little bite to eat.
Yeah, a little bite, so within an hour.
Okay, and then do you know, are we doing fresh or no?
No. We're going to do start fresh,
Next 2 rounds.
flip to, they'll go,
Start fresh and the finals is on fresh.
yes.
Okay.
Well, what do we do for singles?
For singles?
But they started that.
Yeah, but we moved the finals down here. No, the final would be on fresh anyway. No. Correct. That's what we did last year. Correct. No, I don't want to rerun. I'll just leave it sit. So I'll have him oil all the way through like he did before. And then I'll put the ones on the fresh. Then I'll switch it to one of the ones they bolt on. So I want to keep, say it was 33-34 for a semi and 37-38 for a semi, and then roll into 35-36 for the final. So I'll have to just make sure that 33 and 34 and I've been bowled on it in the first round. So it go 31. I'm gonna go figure that out now.
You want him to be 2 or 3?
Perfect. Thank you. All right, so talking with our tournament director, Jason Utwall, about some which lanes and pairs will be in use for the bracket finals. They're going to go confirm that and make sure it goes the way they want it to go and to be planned. Oh, you weren't talking?
Not really, no.
Oh,
I was listening to what y'all were saying about the finals.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
No,
why Sammy is confused. He couldn't.
Oh.
He wasn't hearing anything, so
Oh,
he was
man.
like, he had me worried for.
I can't do the whole
for a
talking
minute.
to myself thing
For
like
a
you,
minute.
man. That's talent.
Yeah, you're right.
I couldn't stream on Twitch or do any of that stuff.
It's okay, Sammy. You had me troubled for a minute.
What did Cam Crow shoot last game?
That's a
Do we
great
know
question. Let's see. I think his score sheet would be nearby. Let me take a peek. Yeah. His game shot 186.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he needs 300.
All right, so let's run it down for Matt before we get the update, if you will.
Yep. Kind of tell him what I got in the notes here? Or?
Yeah, from your vantage point of kind of what you put together based on the Game 5 scores. Let me
It
change
is
that graphic. by the
looking
way.
like William Svensson's going to be the number right now at 58. Benji's at 48. Shota's at 32. And Chad Roberts is at 20. If there's someone else I'm missing, so be it. Nair, Bone, Zeke, Jacob, Jones, Pontus, they're all at 100 plus over at that point. So we're really looking at 2 spots, and we got about 5 guys fighting for those 2 spots. Although Pontus is shooting 170 through 4 down there. We'll see.
Yeah, he's on 43 and 44. Speaking of Pontus, they're going to be done first because they started ahead of just about every other pair, maybe with the exception of 29 and 30. So this is a big game here for Benji Martinez on cue. This is what you kind of hate to see, right? It's so difficult, and obviously I'm not in their shoes. Matt has been in their shoes and is often in their shoes, so he knows it better than me. But when you bowl so well and you get to this point of the tournament, one game separating you from an opportunity to take home a championship. I haven't been in that situation a ton, but you have. How do you, for you personally, like, what's your process on how to handle? You were just talking about the squeeze factor.
Yeah, the squeeze is real.
How do you handle that?
Well, unfortunately, my singles partner sucks, so it's a bit tough. However, what I've figured out is the finality of the moment. Of I've done. I mean, how many games have they bowled now to get here? They bowled 5, assuming none of them are. I mean, none of these guys were Desperado, right? So 5, 6, 6.
Yeah.
You bowled 17 games now to get to this point. And the finish line is, you just turn the corner and now you can see the finish line. I think fight or flight comes into play a lot in that. And some people kind of back down from that moment, and some people embrace that moment. So how do I handle that? A lot of deep breaths, a lot of process-oriented thoughts, stuff like one more good shot, one more of this, just one. All right, stay present. The end goal will be the end goal. Whatever you get will be the result forever, right? Like I got 9th last year. I'm always going to be 9th, but at the moment it's like, oh, you're pressed about this and that. Doesn't matter. What matters is doing the same thing you've done since game 1. And if something Coach Jordan has taught me, if every shot, every frame is scored the same, right? Every shot, every frame has the same weight to your overall total. Then why do I care more about this shot than this one?
This makes sense.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's what somebody told me. Like, oh, that makes sense. If the 10th frame here matters the same as the 10th frame of the first game, why am I squeezing now? I have a ball reaction. I'm standing here. I'm looking here. And I just got to do it.
There will be multiple bowling champions today, folks. Just one from this event.
Oh, yeah, the show's on today.
It's coming on about 20 minutes.
Ooh. Hopefully they have it on here. FS1, yeah, they're definitely going to have it on.
It'll actually line up to where at least, whether they have it on throughout the full game. You said 300's in play, right?
The reason why I asked what he was at is because I really like what he's going to shoot this game.
So we're on the cam watch. You never know. But yeah, once this game is complete, the show will about to begin. That'll put some minutes in between. By the way, I'm going to guesstimate that the finals will begin at about 2 o'clock. So I'm going to set that time to 2 p.m. on that event.
What's your prediction for the show?
The Missouri Classic or this show?
The Missouri Classic.
I'm going to, but it's Bill
We got
O'Neill.
AJ versus Simo, who bowls Russo, who bowls EJ, who bowls Bill.
I'm going to say that AJ Johnson wins his first title stateside.
Running the ladder.
Yep.
Beating 3 Hall of Famers.
Yep.
Okay.
Because sometimes you got to beat Hall of Famers.
That's fair. Almost always you got to beat the Hall of Famers. You got to be a Hall of Famer to win this tournament.
Second, I mean, I really like what Bill has got going on at the start of his year. And he's just a good dude, so it's always nice to see him win. But I think AJ gets it done today.
I'm in your boat with the running the ladder thing, but I think Simo does it. Which is that really a hot take? Let me take the best bowler on tour right now.
Well, that's an interesting question, and I'll ask and then kind of get back and make sure we don't miss anything.
Yeah,
but from your peer perspective, like how do you rank who's the best on tour?
I think Simo's the most talented. I mean, it's tough because EJ does the same stuff, right? So we're talking razor thin margins. But EJ's up there, Belmo, Jacob, Bill's doing crazy things right now. I mean, Bill's probably got the hottest hand in the last month. Troop's always in the mix. I mean,
because I'm almost 40, I'll be 40 in June.
There we go.
I just what Bill is doing, and he's a few years older than me.
Yeah.
Right, and so that part it starts to catch up with us all the time. But I mean, obviously his year is phenomenal to this point. It looks like it's only getting better, which I think puts a little extra kind of incentive on what he's doing at this point.
Were you just after him in college? Did you ever bowl Bill, or was that?
Yeah, we bowled. I had one season with him, or
Okay.
against him, I should say, bowling collegiate. I watched him at Saginaw Valley State leave a tough 10-pin for them to lose to Kansas.
Yes,
national
they had
championship.
Rhino in
Yeah.
Kansas, yeah.
I just missed Sean Rash.
Yeah, he was 02, right?
03, I think, was his
03.
last year.
Okay.
Cam's got 4 in a row.
I saw his ball shape off the gutter that first shot. I was like, oh, here we go.
This is the look that he had because we're now later in the block. So when he started on the burn, like he's not even lofting it still. He got that one left for sure.
That was firm too.
That was the one.
Yeah. Again with the squeeze factor. Nair kind of doing his thing, shooting 2-0. Probably going to be the 1 seed. Very likely to be the 1 seed.
And again, the seeding folks, you know, in this situation is going to be a best of 3, 2 out of 3, 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. So seeding, realistically, it's not a stepladder situation.
Pont just found a double down there. So
Lane
he's back in
choice.
the 180s.
That's it. That's important.
Yeah.
That was a really good pair, it seemed like, for the first few games, scoring-wise.
Looks like William 2-0 pace. William was in. Benji's gonna have to do some work here.
Speaking of Saginaw Valley, J.R. Raymond. He didn't bowl with Bill collegiately, but he fit right in what Saginaw Valley was all about. And they won them back-to-back in 06 and 07. Oof. That's a tough fast 8. You know,
as Jake would
folks,
say, brought to you from the makers of Fast 7.
that's great.
Right, Jake? The makers of Fast 7.
It's a funny dude,
Yep.
Jacob Buttrick.
He's got some good one-liners.
Yeah, you just told me like 3 of them in the last 3 hours.
That's the surface level stuff too. Can't give all the trade secrets away.
Absolutely. So we're watching Pontus, Shota, right?
Yep, we're sweating anyone that's got a number next to him over here. Besides
Shota,
Arvin.
Nick Arvin.
He shot like 160. I mean, he could shoot a big game, right? But I don't know. Yeah. I mean, even if Cam shoots 260, I don't think that's enough.
We need that game 5 today. Let me go check it.
Yeah.
Don't go silent this time.
I'll do the whole talk to
All right.
myself thing. Got Benji coming up here on the lane 38. Really needs the strike to stay in it. Made the ball change. Labels it. What? He's getting it right now. He's getting it right now. Number's 58 after 11. They haven't posted it, but I'm doing all the numbers. 58 after 11. What? Yeah. No. Zeke went around him. 20? Yeah. We got down there. Same kind of thing for Shota over here. Got 196. He's at 32 right now. He needs to shoot 230 to have a chance. We got an update. All right. So as expected, number is 56 over. We'll go down the standings here. Anthony Nyer, unsurprisingly, is in the lead. Plus 177. Going a little backwards there. Zeke, all the way up to second. Go Zeke. Where did he start the day? And Zeke.
Zeke was 10th.
Okay. So Zeke went from 10th to second. He's 137. Brandon Bone third. Actually tied for third with Jacob Buttroff at 129 over each. Do we know how ties are broken? Is it high game or is it a roll-off?
It would have to be I shouldn't say half, but I'm pretty sure it's a one-game roll-off for any
tie.
Any tie that has a qualifying position to it.
Okay, that makes sense. Pontus all the way up to fifth as well at 102 over. Eric Jones, as we got right in front of us, 96 over. He's in sixth. Daniel Farish hanging in there, shot 170. He's in seventh at 81 over. And William Svensson, as expected, the cut at plus 56. We got three guys fighting for that spot. Benji, who's at 44 over, he got right in front of us. Shota at 32 over. He's in 10th, and Chad Roberts at plus 26. He is 11th. After that, we're in the minus. You want to get your
all right, so minus.
Doodle on it.
I'm sorry, plus 56.
Jake had 215 right?
Jake just got 215.
Did he?
Can't tell.
Looks like more than that.
230. 224?
It's got to be 20.
He has 9 out in the middle. That's the only issue.
Can we? Do we have a camera on 29?
We don't have one on 29. The closest we can get is 31 over there. Who do we need over there specific?
Just what Jacob shot. I can't tell if that's 14 or 24. My eyes deceive me.
Is he done? It's 24.
That's 24.
Is he A?
Yeah, because that's 205 in the ninth. Yeah, so Jake shot 224.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Yeah, we're going to doodle.
You get your pencil. There you go.
Try to get everyone's numbers before they do. So Jake 24 gets him to 153. I'd say he's going to make this cut. Who's that? Arvin had a chance there. And then he just 4-6'd off a double.
What just happened?
I think he missed a 5-pin.
Oh, Jason Miller.
The double, but 9 outs.
That's a round.
I'll take a blue moon, please. Big shot for Benji here. All of these are big shots. That big didn't hook.
Benji again. He came over to take a look at the scores.
Yeah, he's pressed. You can tell. When they're checking the scores, they're always pressed.
He's a supremely talented player. I mean, he has really
phenomenal.
Worked himself from Mexico, went to SCAD Savannah. He lives in the Chicagoland area. Actually, I see him a little bit more often now, just randomly in the area. Works at KR Strike Force. They're doing great work there.
He makes a lot of good content. I see his reels on my Instagram a lot. It's entertaining. Good spare.
All right, about to post these scores for you so you can take a look again. I know I prefaced this a while ago, but print is small, so make sure you click and then zoom in or enlarge that screen so you can read it.
Chad Roberts open. I don't see many strikes, so I think Chad is not in the top 8. Or he's not going to make the top 8. So cross him out. We got Shota, Benji, and William, maybe even Daniel for 2 spots.
Daniel's finishing up on 41 and 42.
What letters? Should say he's A on the left lane. Shooting 2-teen.
All right, not bad.
That's important. Oh, nope, timber. Oh God, he 5-pinned again.
Oh, it's becoming a game over there.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately for Mr. Miller.
He's gonna flag this one. I have a feeling.
But he missed the last 2. He's missed the last 2 5-pins.
Jesus. Make it a triple.
I mean, we don't need to see it, but it's certainly worth it. And I like Jason Miller.
Oh, he's a great guy.
All 3 of those in a row. Like, I'll pay $20 or something. We need it. 3 frames in a row, 3 with 5 in. He's nervous right now.
He dropped the card. That card sounded metal too. I think he's buying for the whole center.
Okay. I'm only going to turn this just because he's already missed 2 in a row.
Oh yeah,
It's the only reason I would even check it out.
Who cares about a tournament? We need 5 pins here.
Wow, Benji just left a 4-7-10.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's going to do him in. Slowly eliminating people.
He's got to make it just to get to 198.
Yeah, I don't even think 198's enough. Looks like Pontus shooting 180.
So we
He's fine.
have had the last 2, by the way, because it's been in the picture in the bottom right.
Oh,
so
we can see it?
we could have seen it.
Oh, he made it.
Well, that's when you know it's going rough.
When you're begging for the 5-pin spares. I was a little spook shooting one yesterday. Oh.
What did Pontus? Did he? Pontus.
I think he went strike and then did that.
Oh, okay. So he's B.
Yeah, I don't think.
Strike split in the 10th.
Yeah, I don't think that's an open. Yeah, 170, 175, assuming he gets one. Minus 25. Nice spare. I am horrible. I missed this cut. Jones, I think Jones might need a mark here. 165, 185.
Yeah, this is not a guarantee. That was.
That's a good mark.
Big shot.
85. Gets him to 81 or 91. Parrish with a huge shot coming up on 42. And he washes out. He's at 81. He's 7th right now.
Shota just left a 4-pin.
Yeah, that was a big shot for him. That's only 5 over. That gets him to 37, which I don't think is enough.
Eric Jones just doubled.
Okay, so he's going to be at 90 or 91. William Svensson. What did William Svensson shoot?
Oh, good question. He's on that pair with Pontus. He would be letter C over there.
Letter C. I am blind as a bat. Looks like a clean 2-0. 199, let's say.
I'll go check it.
Yeah, I think it's 99. Shot 198. Okay, so William Svensson shot 198. That's going to get him to 54 over, and that might be this cut.
198.
198.
William.
Okay, so that's 54 over for William.
Good thing Brandon Bone is off that pair, and the lanes will be re-oiled because they were getting to that point. And he
Brandon
had trouble
shot
on that pair yesterday, too.
Yeah. 176.24 is 105. Farish, I think he made the washout over there, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. That's huge. 216. That's 97. I think we got our finalists here. Yeah, shot for Benji there. Zeke shooting, yeah, just seating.
The best Benji could have done is minus 30. I'm sorry, plus 31.
Exactly. 205 for Zeke over there. That's not going to be enough to get around Nair, so Zeke's going to be 2. I think we got it all figured out already. We got Zeke at 2, Anthony at 1. No. Jacob. Maybe not.
He shot 224.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
That he did. I don't think Zeke can get there. He needs 17.
Get to the 2 seed, you mean?
Yeah. 17. He has 15 left.
Real quick, as we as this round ends. Hold on 1 second.
This is where we put the first round. That's the only one that's going to be out.
You're bowling William. You.
At least Jake got the 2. That means we're on the opposite side of the ground.
Like Daniel Farish can double here for 226. 226 gets him to 107. That would get him all the way to the 4 seed. So strike's pretty important for Farish, just for seeding. He's going to go around Jones. So 216 for Farish. That gets him to 97. It's going to be behind Bone. It's 4, 5. That's what I think we're looking at.
First time in back now, so I'm not really that mad at it. On purpose? First time I touched the ball, what are y'all doing? They're public.
So unofficially.
All right, so unofficial. Anthony Nair. 1. Jacob Buttriff. 2. Well, Zeke Bates gets more good breaks like that. He's going to be golden in the finals. Zeke Bates going to be 3. Brandon Bone 4. Daniel 5. Eric Jones 6. Pontus 7. And Williams Vincent 8. Unofficial.
Now, the one thing that I noticed about, if that is what it ends up being, the one thing I noticed about that is every lefty bowls every righty. So we could go 4 and 4 either way.
How about that?
Yeah, how's that work out after that many games?
Be some very intriguing matchups if they are what they are. Again, unofficially, Nair would face Svensson. Buttriff would face Pontus Anderson. Zeke Bate would face Eric Jones. Brandon Bone would face Daniel Farish.
Emil, I think I'm going to get some lunch with my boys.
Appreciate you.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me in here, and
thank you.
Hope the viewers enjoy the rest of the show here. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun match play.
It is going to be fun.
All right. Thank you, my man.
Thank you. That is Matt Zweig. Appreciate Matt hanging out. He's going to go eat because his roomies are another step away from capturing the $12,500 top prize. Right now, we've got the finals scheduled to begin at around 2 p.m. Eastern. That's unofficial as well, but Jason Utchwall has said it's going to be no more than an hour break. It is now 1:07 p.m. and bowling this round is officially complete. But the good news is the Pete Weber Missouri Classic is now on FS1. It's actually being played, and everyone has now turned their attentions to the TV screens. I love bowling, and I love it more when I'm in the bowling center and I can turn and watch bowling on television. Literally after a block of a cashier's round ends, we all turn and just watch the screens in the bowling center. Fantastic. But as I'm going to keep it live, and until we get the official top 8. Any thoughts, opinions? Who you got now? I think we've figured out the top 8. It is unofficial, but who you got? Who do you think can win? It's going to take 3 matches to win $12,500 today. A nice spare from Anthony Simonson. Anthony Simonson versus A.J. Johnson. Our wonderful mechanic here, Joey, here at Executive. Getting the lane machine in position. Just throw our message up on the screen. That was a pretty fun round overall. You kind of knew it certainly would be. Wouldn't shock me if Mr. Thomas is, my man is about getting some bowling tournaments together. All right, we got 1 pick for Butters. Anybody else care to give us their thoughts on who might win, who they want to win? Not the Pete Weber Missouri Classic, but the Bradley Open. We can also talk about who you want to win the Pete Weber Missouri Classic. I'm open for discussion. Chris Pickett, I will get back to you in a bit. Have an enjoyable rest, and I'll see you in the next stream. But more importantly, I'll see you. We'll chat via social media. Just waiting for the top 8 to be confirmed. I want to thank Matt Zweig for his nice work. It was weird not having to put these cut numbers together for a change. I appreciate Matt. Again, right now, officially, Anthony Nair, Jacob Buttriff, Zeke Bate, Brandon Bone, Daniel Farish, Eric Jones, Pontus Anderson, and Williams Vinson, 1 through 8. Meaning, if that is the case, matches would go Nyer versus Vinson, Buttroff versus Anderson, Bate versus Jones, Bone versus Farish. We will have 3 of the 4 matches available to watch. We will, of course, move around the cabin between 31 and 32, 37 and 38, and 41 and 42. So we'll be moving around through each match. And there will be one match that will be off on the distance on 45 and 46. It'll be the one match that will be out of a camera range or camera view. Yes, you did on the road. I remember that, actually. All right, so we got Butters. We got Eric Jones. Let's see if we look ahead, potentially the first time we might see lefties bowl each other would be in the round of 4. Nyer and Bone could bowl each other. Well, one gentleman who he's been very thoughtful about his work this week and figuring out what to do, and now he finds himself in the top 8 for the second or third time, first time ever. He's made the top 8 here at the Bradley. Daniel Farish.
Yeah, when your rev rate is as low as mine, it's tough to get those 5.7s out enough to make that top 8. But yeah, it was that was a grind, man. Five games over 200, 5 clean games over 200 today. 1 terrible pair for 170. Finished at plus 97, I think. So probably 7th or 8th. I never looked at standings once today, so just glad to be here. You know, I don't want to say, oh, it's a win in my book, but the way I look at it is I'm playing with house money at this point. So we'll go out on the fresh. I've had a really good look on the fresh, and we'll see who I match up with and what we can get done today.
Unofficially. Unofficially, calculated by Matt Zweig. Anthony Nyer 1. Jacob Buttroff 2. Zeke Bay 3. Unofficially.
What Jake do today?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You've been bowling.
I have no idea.
So here's Jacob Buttroff today. 248, 279, 206, 202, 234.
Whoa.
25th to 2nd.
Wow, that's a heck of a day.
Unofficially. That's not even including Game 6. Oh, he shot 224.
Okay.
Game 6.
Woo. Have yourself a day, sir.
So, yeah, he was that dude today. Then 5th would be yourself, unofficially. Eric Jones 6th, Pontus Anderson 7th, Williams Vinson 8th.
Cool, and who'd you say unofficially is 4th?
Brandon Bone.
Okay, cool.
It would be lefty versus righty in every match, if these are correct.
Because your top 4 was lefty, 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 lefty?
No, it just kind of worked out that.
I'm saying it was Anthony, Jacob. Who was 3rd?
Zeke.
Oh, Zeke. Oh, yeah. I crossed with Zeke today. I didn't realize what he was shooting until I looked at our score sheet after Game 5.
Had a day.
It was a great day for Zeke.
230, 233, 244, 218, 213, and I don't remember what he shot, but I know it was 2+.
It was.
So some fantabulous days. So yeah, you could bowl, or unofficially would bowl a lefty. The first time lefties might bowl one another would be in the round of 4, depending on, of course, who wins in the respective matches.
Cool.
Just if you wouldn't mind, just talk about your process today? I know that you didn't look at the scores, you kind of kept your head down, but for you, and specifically about kind of surface choices and ball choices, because I know that you were thinking about that last night.
I didn't change a single thing from what I did last night to today. The way I looked at it is I was in ninth. I was 2 pins out of the top 8. I wasn't in a position where I had to gamble. I just wanted to come in and do the same exact thing that I did last night. So we went back to the garage. We didn't alter any surfaces as far as like change from what they were. We just freshened them up. And I threw the same 2 balls today that I threw last night. I never moved my feet or my eyes. I just played with ball speed and ball changes, and that was it. The 3 guys I crossed with, Nick Arvin, Zeke Bate, and Trevor Roberts, we were all in that 6 to 10 zone for like 4 games. I crossed with 3 guys who played the lanes absolutely perfect for what I needed. So it's hard to thank your competitors for helping you with your ball motion, but they helped break down an area of the lane that I desperately needed. Because after talking to some guys last night, a number of the right-handers were like, yeah, I think we're going to abandon the gutter, we're going to abandon a 6 to 10, and we're going to go into the fallback. And I was thinking, oh, that's going to put me in a really bad position. But the guys I crossed with, and from what I could tell, the field pretty much stayed in that 6 to 10 range. Now, some guys did move in later, but in this event, I need help to get my ball to slow down, and I had that help today. And everybody talks about drywall screen and rubbing your bowling ball in the parking lot. The balls that I threw yesterday and today were both at 800. I tried the drywall screen thing for 2 years, and I guess with my rev rate, it didn't give me enough of a difference, and I was just ruining bowling balls in the process.
Right.
I'm not about that. So I had a couple balls at 500 that really never saw the lane, and these 2 were both at 8. A theorem and the one remix. So just 2 pin-up ASIMs.
In the booth with Daniel Ferris talking about his day and breaking it down a little bit. Of the group that we believe is going to advance, I think you are like an official local, right? I mean, Anthony, Zeke,
Nope.
Brandon,
Nope.
Jacob,
Nope.
Pontus,
Nope.
Eric Jones,
Nope.
William Svensson.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Does that give you a little additional pride, if you will, as it being in your backyard, so to speak?
A little bit.
I would think so.
A little bit.
Knowing you.
A little bit. Yeah, it does. It does. It's just and it's just bowling, it's just bragging rights, baby. But when we walk out that door, we're all husbands or fathers or sons and brothers, but in this building, a little bit of bragging rights.
Is it more too like you're trying to kind of keep the title here, if you will, in Kentucky, so to speak?
I'm not so big on the whole protect this house kind of thing.
Okay.
This tournament, there are so many quality players that come to this event from outside Louisville, outside
Right.
Kentucky. It's really hard. And the local representation in this tournament has dropped off the last 5 or 6 years. I hate to see that. There are a lot of quality players in the city who could bowl this event. I don't know that there are guys that didn't bowl that I would say absolutely that guy should have bowled and could have won, but there are guys in this city who could have bowled. And I keep saying guys, we've got some talented female players in this city as well that could bowl this event that didn't and could be threatening for checks and threatening for top 8. So I'd like to see, if any locals are listening, I'm putting a call out to you right now. Let's bowl some qualifiers next year. Let's pay that entry fee and let's bowl the Bradley next year. It's a great event that's in our backyard. We don't have to travel. We don't have expenses outside of gas. Come bowl this event.
We are waiting for the official top 8, and there was one score sheet that was missing too. There was one score sheet that was missing, so I believe that was the holdup. So hopefully we should have that pretty soon. Once I do get a paper copy, I'll just go ahead and post those to the Bowl Stream TV Facebook page, as I have. Excuse me. Ooh, that was a stretch and a yawn. My apologies. It's been a long weekend. I'll post those to my the Bowl Stream TV Facebook page, so you can continue to keep an eye and have a final statistical viewpoint on what took place here today. We've got bowling. Again, I believe I went with 2 p.m. Eastern time, not confirmed, but Jason did not want to go more than 1 hour for a break, so we can get into the matches. Folks can obviously get home, travel. There's some players who are going to need to get on to Andrew or Anderson, Indiana for the next PBA stop. There's some players going to be hitting the road pretty soon, actually, as well. And there's a mic tap, and maybe this is it.
All right. First off, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. We'd also like to thank our spectators, the staff here at Executive, all of the bowlers, everyone across the tournament officials, on live stream. I'd like to thank our sponsors, H5G, Motiv, CTG Products, Maeser Plumbing, QubicaAMF. Your top 8 qualifying in 8th place at plus 54, William Vincent. In 7th place, plus 76, Pontus Anderson. In 6th place, at plus 89, Eric Jones. 5th place, plus 97, Daniel Farish. 4th place, plus 105, Brandon Bone. 3rd place, plus 152, Zeke Bate. 2nd place, plus 153, Jacob Buttrop. And then 1st place, your overall highest qualifier, plus 183, Anthony Knight. All right, bowlers, we're going to get started. These all in the lanes will get started in about 45 minutes or so. Give you guys enough time to get lunch. For those that did not make match play, he's working on your text now. Sometime within the next half hour, he'll have those out to you guys.
All right.
For those that are going into match play, just
this is important.
a couple notes. First off, you are allowed to change your surface prior to the start of match play. Once match play starts, you are not allowed to change your surface between matches. You can do it now up until the very end of practice. Once practice is over, there is no more changing the surface of your ball the rest of the day.
That's a very important note because that caused a little bit of a ruckus last year with a misinterpretation of the rule, or either wasn't clear or clearly announced, one or the other. So that's very important. You don't want to have folks not be able to use bowling balls in that sense.
With that said, for those traveling, please be safe. Thank you guys for attending the Bradley. We hope to see you guys next year.
Okay, so we've got the official announcements, and the names and their positions are correct. Once again, Anthony Nyer, your number 1 seed. He will face the number 8 seed, William Svensson. The number 2 seed, Jacob Buttrop, will face the 7th seeded Pontus Anderson. The number 3 seed is Zeke Bate. He will face the 6th seeded Eric Jones. And the number 4 seed, Brandon Bone, will face the number 5 seed, Daniel Farish. Sir, before we let you go and get yourself prepared, what should we and what can we expect from you as you get into the fresh again, and obviously a completely different environment? It's mano a mano, one-on-one. We all love that style. What should we expect to see from you on the lanes?
My plan is to hit the 1-3 as often as possible, get the ball into a roll as clean as I can, because if I get that ball rolling off my hand clean, it's a better chance to get the corners out. And if I don't get it off my hand clean, you're going to be looking at some designer splits. So we're going to hit the 1-3, play between 6 and 10, and see if we can't shock the world.
Well, there you have it. Well, Mr. Farish, eat, surface prep, whatever you got to do, my man.
Got a grilled cheese waiting for me. Thanks, Z.
Now, you can't go to the garage, so what are we doing with your surfaces? You good?
I got some stuff in the bag.
My man.
Yeah.
He came prepared. That is Daniel Farish. We will see him in about 45 minutes. About 45 minutes. So based on that, we're looking at about 2:05, 2:10-ish, I'm going to say. I did just drop the finals link for you, so that way you don't have to kind of scurry and find it. Of course, if you subscribe to Bullstream TV, which I hope you've done, you'll know when we go live. You'll get notified that we are live indeed. But it's there for you. Just go ahead and open it up in a new tab already, and then once we go live, that will start automatically. I want to thank all of the wonderful sponsors here at the Bradley Open: QubicaAMF, Motiv, Creating the Difference, H5G, and Maeser Plumbing. Nice spare from A.J. Johnson. Well, I was wrong on my prediction today. A.J. Johnson will not run the ladder and win his first title on the state side, but a nice little moment there with Pete as he made the 3-6-7-10. Tribe, a quick question before we go. Can someone tell me what was the... I don't know why I can't see the rest of that message. For all the cuts, not off the top of my head, sir. But I can tell you, if you go to Bowlstream TV's Facebook page, you got all of the scores from last night's advancers round. I'll have this final list for you up there as well, and then B squad. I don't think I have much from A squad. All right, click that link, and we're all good. So I'll see you in, I'm going to say about 35 minutes or so. If anything changes, I'll drop it in that particular chat. Again, Bowlstream TV Facebook for all the rest of the standings that you'd like to see. I will say that Tri-Fitty minus 77 was the cut to the advancers round. Plus 54 is the number to get into the top 8. Have a chance to win $12,500. We'll see you in a little bit. Finals coming up next. Ooh, that's going to be fun. 4 lefties, 4 righties. It'll be lefty-righty in every match in round number 1. 3 rounds to glory and $12,500 to the winner. Thanks to Jason Utchwall, Matt Zweig, Daniel Farish, our guest today in the Bowlstream TV booth. Thanks to Joey running the lanes right now as we prepare for the finals. Thanks to all involved here at Executive Strike and Spare, wonderful staff and crew. Until then, enjoy the PBA, the Pete Weber Missouri Classic, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. This has been a presentation of the Cashers Round. Finals are next here on Bowlstream TV.